Jody Bryans. I'm here on location at the Victoria Conference Centre in Victoria. It's one of fashion's biggest nights as well as boxing's biggest night. So this is kind of like Dancing with the Stars, but boxing. This event takes everyday normal people in the community with zero fighting experience, and they train them intensively for 8 weeks. And tonight, they're going to step in the middle of the ring and put that training to use. Well, I'm excited to be here and see all of these amazing outfits and just the vibe that's going on. But this is also a great cause. This benefits for charities. I'm here with Darcy Domet. He is the producer of this event, as well as the owner and one of the owners and operators of Studio 4. This is their 6th annual Fight for the Cause. Six? Can you believe 6?
I know, it's just flying by.
It really is, and every year it gets better and better. Darcy, what are you most looking forward about seeing tonight?
Well, other than everything you're seeing behind us on the red carpet, which is actually my favorite part of the night. I mean, I know there's boxing and all that, but I'm into it for the fashion thing. I mean, got my velour, and look at you, and look at all this action happening in the background. This is my favorite part. Well, and of course, we're raising money for charity, which is what it's all about. And there's boxing.
Yeah. And there's boxing.
There's so many people.
That's a fashion.
Right? There's so many people putting something on the line tonight, right? Whether all these people have never boxed before, and they are, they're getting in the ring for the first time after an 8-week training camp. Man, their lives are on hold. They don't know what's going to happen. The adrenaline's high. And all in the name for charity. I mean, at the end of the night, I don't know what we're set to get this year to give away, but all the proceeds from the night are for charity. So. And
you guys have raised quite a bit. I heard, is this right? $120,000
we're at 120,000 over the years. I feel like it might be 60 in it tonight, the way things are rolling, right?
I think so. Let's hopefully reach our goal. I know we're going in with already $30,000 raised from the fighters.
This is after expenses, right? This is an expensive party to throw, so we have to pay back and then get in the profit.
And I know we're doing pretty well, and I would have to say I love your jacket, your outfit. You're always the most stylish guy on the red carpet. Yeah. Is there any match that you're really excited about seeing in particular?
Oh, I think one that's drawing a lot of attention is the Victoria Firemen versus the Saanich Firemen.
Oh,
and
that's pretty exciting.
In the room we've got about 300 firemen along with everybody else. So I mean, the room is going to light up when those guys get out there. It's on, right? So.
It's on, and their organizations are also involved with this event. It's the Saanich and Victoria Firefighter Charitable Fund. They are the beneficiaries, and as they are every year, correct?
Yes, typically they're involved as well. I know you may have talked about it, Bridges for Women, which I got to go inside their business and actually understand the level that they're working with these ladies, and it's amazing. We need that service, so it feels good to be able to give some money directly to that situation. So.
Well, I hope you keep producing these events, Darcy. As long as you're producing them, I will be here supporting you.
Coming, I'm doing it, right? So,
all right. Well, thanks for speaking to me.
Yeah.
I'm with Adam Braidwood. He is the current WBU heavyweight champ, and he is also one of the amazing coaches we have here at Fight for the Cause. Adam, tell me why you wanted to get involved with this event.
Well, it was kind of funny. I wasn't really interested in being involved, and then Bailey called me, and Bailey has a way of convincing people to do things.
Yeah.
And I come in to the morning workouts, and I heard everybody's story of why they wanted to fight and what they were hoping to accomplish. And I said, you know what, I'll give you guys everything I got, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I definitely know that you're one of all the coaches are amazing, but you've been a big hit this year, and it really shows in the training. Who are you most excited about seeing tonight? Whose fight? There's 15 matches, so how do you pick?
It's honestly, it's tough to choose, right? I'm excited for all my fighters. I think that we're going to surprise a lot of people with technical boxing skills. I pretty much just stole all my coaches' workouts and brought them to Studio 4 with Richard the Stage. So I'm excited for all the fights. It would be hard to choose a barn burner because I think they're all going to be really good.
So Adam, I know you've got some big matches coming up. What is coming up for you in the next month or so?
Well, I actually fly out tomorrow to go do my fight. I'm fighting the main event against 15-2 fighter Misael Sanchez from Juarez, Mexico, in Edmonton. So we'll be at the Shaw Conference Center, and then after that fight, we have another one booked for March already, which will be hopefully for some sort of title. We're trying to line up an opponent now, and that'll be at the Rogers Arena in Edmonton. So.
Well, that's amazing, and they're super lucky to have you. Adam, thank you so much for speaking with me, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Your dress It's amazing. Yes. I am here with Keira Ng. Keira, this is my favorite part about her part of the night, is her nickname. Keira, do you want to tell everybody your nickname?
It's Keira, float like a butterfly, ing like a bee.
So Keira is one of our fighters this evening. She's also raised a lot of money on her own for our four organizations. She's worked incredibly hard. How are you feeling right now? You're the first fighter we've spoken to tonight. So what's going on? Are you anxious? Like, I'm rooting for you.
I am actually oddly calm. My coaches have gotten me ready, and I'm more prepared than I ever could be. So really, it's just waiting it out and getting ready, getting into the zone, and really enjoying the night.
So I'm here with Pam. She's on the board of directors with the Help Fill a Dream Foundation. Help Fill a Dream is one of the charities that this great event is benefiting tonight. You guys have worked with this event a few times. So can you please tell me why events like this in Victoria are so important to happen and what they can do for organizations like Help Fill a Dream?
Yes, thanks Jody, and it really is an honor to be here tonight. We're very excited to be chosen as one of the charity sponsors again for the Fight for the Cause. It's very important at the reach that this organization has. So for example, we have actually reached over 2,249 dreams that we've been able to accomplish for children across 62 communities and including 5 of the Gulf Islands. So our reach is expanding, and we've got a number of different programs. So our Quality of Life program allows children to be able to have locally assisted devices that can help them after they've had their surgery or any of their operations or whatever it may be. And then we can also provide financial assistance. And then of course our dreams, right? For giving some solace to these children who have been through so much. One of our recipients was actually Tree. It was a 15-year-old girl who was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And her mother, the way the world works, was a yoga instructor at Studio 4. So the impact that this organization and these events make are twofold. It's really becoming more important that we can reach more families that really do require the assistance.
Well, I hope we are able to grant some child's dream tonight. That would just make me so thrilled. Thank you so much for speaking with me, Pam. I'm here with the Executive Director of Bridges for Women, Victoria Pruden. I'm so excited that she welcomed us with open arms the other day. You gave us a tour of your facility. Can you tell us a bit, how did that go for you that day? Because I haven't seen you since.
Yes, it was really amazing to have the fighters come to Bridges for Women, find out about what we do, and find out about the charity that they're helping to raise funds for. It was amazing, and the graduate of our program who was there, who met the fighters, it was a profound experience for her too.
Can you tell us a little bit about the graduate program, like the services you provide for education?
Sure, absolutely. We've been providing services for women impacted by violence and abuse for almost 30 years. And what we believe is that through healing and employment, we can help women to end the cycle of violence in their lives and just help them provide a better life for their family, themselves. We provide a whole range of services from trauma counseling to employment programs and career placements.
Well, I'm very passionate about the fact that Bridges provides counseling services for women with trauma. Throughout so much of our community, trauma is an undercurrent in the context of poverty, in the context of mental illness. And this is one of the very few programs that exists not only in our community but across the province for women who've experienced trauma. So how lucky is our community to have a service like this, and I'm so thankful to be a part of it.
This is an event about empowering people and all of us together. Everyone looks so beautiful and we're just here to shine and radiate together. That's what I love about Bridges for Women, is it's really helping women to step into their power again and shine and become full participants in the world, and they do it in a way that's so systemic.
I really hope you enjoy your first Fight for the Cause, and maybe we'll have you guys back next year. This is your third one, so what makes you keep coming back to this event?
I think there's no other event in Victoria like it, where it combines, athleticism and fundraising, charity work, and just everyone looks so gorgeous tonight.
You look amazing tonight. Let's just talk about your dress for a second. Look at this. This woman is always on point. I'm so glad you came today. What are you most looking forward to seeing tonight?
I'm just looking forward to seeing the fights and connecting with friends.
I am with Anna from Deco de Mode. They have a huge part with helping this event. So can you explain to everybody what that is?
So we, Deco de Mode and Gold Hair Lounge are teamed up here tonight, and they're doing everybody's makeups and hairstyles. But by everybody, I mean all the ring girls, as well as contestants, as well as the Brazilian dancers. So all the entertainment here is beautified by the two salons.
Why is it important to participate in events like this in Victoria?
Well, we really love what Studio 4 does and the Brazilian Cultural Center. My kids are part of the capoeira classes and everything, and then we like to support, and it's just so beautiful for a small city like this to fancy up just before Christmas and dress up and just feel glamorous, as well as it's a good, it's a good cause. So fight for a cause and then show your strengths. I think there's a lot of components, beauty, strength, physical activity, everything all together, fashion.
Yeah, I love that you said strength in there, because we have some amazing women who are fighting tonight. Are you looking forward to seeing their matches as much as I am?
I sure am.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
If there was a fashion award, I think I'd already award it to you guys. I've already seen some great outfits, but this is amazing. This is such a great event, but what is your favorite part about this event? Is this your first one? Or?
Yeah, the first one. The whole experience, I think it's a great cause, and, we're here for the party.
What is your favorite part about this event? Obviously, besides your halftime show, but what's so amazing about it?
I would say just empowering the people to fight, not that fighting is a great thing, but just letting them know that they're strong and bringing an event like this to Victoria, as well as it's for an amazing cause, of course. Yeah. So, I think that's the best part, just feeling like really strong and really working towards something. All of these fighters have worked so hard, and the dancers have too.
What are you looking forward to about tonight?
About tonight?
Yeah.
Well, this year is the first one, and I actually know all the contenders.
Oh.
And it's really exciting, not just to watch the fight, but really know the people and their story behind.
Yeah, because all of them, I would say most of them have definitely a heartfelt reason why they are fighting. Are there any matches that you are looking forward to seeing the most?
I want to see Keira fighting, and a couple more people.
She's at the gym every single morning where those fighters are training at 6 a.m. every single morning, so you've gotten to know them really well. So are you just, when you watch, are you just incredibly proud of them?
Yes, that's the right word to say.
Oh my
Absolutely.
I'm here with Sandra Froher. She's an artist, and she's here with her husband, Rob. Sandra actually donated a really beautiful painting to our silent auction tonight, and that is a huge part of how we raise money for these organizations. So, Sandra, can you tell me why you felt inclined to do such a generous donation?
Thank you. I love to be a contribution, especially to my community. And I love art, and just giving a piece of my soul, my heart, my hands to the community, and for such a great cause, for fantastic causes. I feel privileged to be in the donation category for you guys, and thank you so much for asking me.
Who are you here to support tonight?
My friend Keira Higgins, really good friend of my wife's,
Yeah.
and we're here to watch her do her thing.
Keira's been working really hard. Keira's also been one of our top fundraisers. All the fighters have been working on their own to raise money for our 4 organizations. So, aside from wanting to support your friend, is there anything else you're really excited about tonight? Like, what was it? Just fun getting all dolled up, or?
Yes, I like wearing the suit.
Yes,
and
you look great.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
And seeing everyone, but I'm a huge boxing fan.
Well, Jill is one of the ring people for tonight's event, and she also works at Studio 4 Athletics. Jill, this is your first time in the middle of the ring, right?
It is my first time.
Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I'm maybe nervous for the shoes.
What is so important about this event?
I think just celebrating strong women is definitely one of the most important things that I try and empower in other ladies. So for me to get to celebrate actually being a woman and get pretty for once, yeah.
And I think that's such an important, with everything going on in the world right now, I think tonight's event speaks louder than it even has in previous years of how important it is to empower women.
Absolutely.
So,
girl power.
Can you tell me if there's a match you're looking forward to seeing the most tonight? I know, it's so hard.
The most. I know Allison pretty well, so I'm looking forward to her match. So I'm looking to see how much girl power she can bring to it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being part of this event and giving back to your community. And we'll see you inside. You look amazing. Thank you, Jill.
You too.
Tonight, there's so many elements to this event. Obviously, the fashion and the fighting. But what else are you guys excited for tonight?
Well, I think it's a good excuse to dress up and have a few drinks and support some good causes.
Yeah, it's a good date night.
See our friends, yeah, basically support the local community and get dressed up, exactly. I spotted him this little sparkly thing tonight and he was like, really? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is an event you have to be sparkly
Well, actually,
for.
there's a fundamental lesson that I've learned is that my opinion and my sense of fashion is really not a very good indicator of what's going to go over well, so this was a bullseye for my wife.
Honestly, she nailed it. You guys look amazing.
I actually just won these pearls 3 weeks ago at the Visions Gala, so where else am I going to wear these pearls except for to an event like tonight?
I'm here with Wade Dust. Now, this gentleman here, this finely dressed gentleman here, I'm just digging this eggplant suit, or just, oh, it's unbelievable. He's always looking good, and there's actually a next reason why you look extra good tonight. He's one of the ring people, so he'll be in the center of the ring in between rounds. Now let's talk about this event. This is your third one. Why is it so important to have these events in Victoria?
This is so unique for Victoria because it's a red carpet event.
Yes.
Look at how beautiful all the ladies look. The men look strapping. What an incredible reason to get dolled up and support our local community, right?
Yeah.
The charity events are unbelievable. And the work that the fighters are putting in, the work that the organizers are putting in, this is just a great opportunity for us to live out our luxuries here in Victoria.
I'm here with Lindsay Van Geen, and let me tell you, this lady is a force. She is one of the force. She is a force, and the reason why I say that is she has a huge hand in putting this event together tonight, especially you see all the people coming in. She is a huge part of that. So Lindsay, can you tell me, this is your second or third year involved?
Second year, yeah.
Second year. So what made you want to do this again and be involved with this amazing event?
I don't know, because I remember last year I said I'm never doing that again, and then when Kevin asked me this year, I said absolutely. It's fun, and you get to meet a ton of great people. Victoria is so small, so you know everyone here, so it's kind of like a great social event, and yeah, I love being a part of Studio 4. They do great work, so why not?
Is there anything you really want to see? Is it one of the matches? Is it the entertainment? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to all of that. What I was most looking forward to is everyone getting in smoothly, and it's gone pretty well so far. It's far from over, but that's what I was most looking forward to. And then, yeah, just the wrap up, and everyone's so happy, and all the fighters are done, and they've got all the adrenaline, and they come up in their gowns, but they're still glowing red. Yeah, that part's awesome.
That part is amazing, and I just want to I've met Lindsay through this event, and I can't even tell you how much I love this girl right here.
I love her.
What are you most excited about tonight? Are you excited about the matches, the entertainment?
I'm very excited about the matches because I did do some strength training with the boys and girls. So just to see how they do in the ring, I'm really excited about that.
Can you tell me a bit about your fight and why you are here tonight?
Sure. I'm here to support some of our friends that are fighting tonight.
Yeah, are there any matches in particular that you are looking forward to?
Oh, for sure, yeah. We have two firefighters that we're supporting tonight. One is Andrew Komar and another Michael Gunn. And I believe they're both towards the end of the night, so we're eager to see them.
The firefighters draw such an incredible crowd. Can you kind of explain to us the feelings that the fighters have event night? They're doing this for the first time. You're stepping into the ring in front of, almost 1,400 people. What was going through your mind when you did it?
Well, it's crazy. I mean, you're a bunch of emotions. You're nerves, you're excited. When the fighters get to the fight night, it's actually a relief because it's finally gonna come to fruition, right? So there's gonna be a winner and there's gonna be a loser. Hopefully everyone just puts 100% in and they'll feel good at the end. I kind of liken it to a large mountain climb. You're gonna get to the top. It's tough getting there. Win or lose, everyone's got that mountaintop experience.
There's still quite a bit of excitement happening here on the red carpet, but as you can kind of hear, the music is getting started. That means that the first fight is about to commence at Fight for the Cause. These fighters are about to step into the ring after months. They have grueling training. So I'm going to throw it over to Jason and Brian so you guys can get in on the excitement. From the red carpet, I'm Jody Bryants.
Thanks, Jody. You know, what you're going to be witnessing here is something completely different from your regular run-of-the-mill fight card. We have 30 members of our local community who put their lives on hold for the last 8 weeks, getting up at the crack of dawn 5 days a week, all to complete the training of boxing, something that, you know, a lot of them really haven't done before in the past. They're very new to this sport. They learned it, and they're here tonight to get into that ring that's behind us to showcase their skills, all for a great cause for 4 local charities. My name is Brian Capistrano. I've actually been in this ring before twice, so I can offer up, you know, the experience of what it's going to be like for some of these people getting into the ring for the first time. I thought we needed to add a little bit more credibility than just me for tonight, so we've brought in our resident pro fighter, multi-time championship kickboxer, MMA, and boxer, Mr. Jason Haidt.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here calling these fights with you. I'm really excited for tonight. I don't even know what we're going to see. I mean, we're seeing first-timers fight tonight. We don't know what we're going to see. Are they going to be in shape? Do they know how to protect themselves? Do they have the gas tank? Can they handle the stress? Can they handle the nerves? Can they handle this crowd, this hometown crowd fighting in front of their friends, their families? I have no idea what we're going to see, but it might be the sweet science. It might be ugly. It might be beautiful. I mean, I have no idea what this crowd is going to do. You know, what kind of impact this is going to have on these athletes. But we know these guys have trained hard. 8 weeks, which is a short camp, but they've put in a really intense training session. You know, 5 days a week, I believe these guys are working, you know, with their coaches. They're in shape. They've come to fight. And I can't wait for this event. It's all in the name of charity. There's a bunch of local charities that they're working with, and it's going to be a fantastic night, and I'm really excited for it.
Definitely going to be a night to remember. We are at the Carson Hall of the Victoria Conference Center for Fight for the Cause 6, our charity boxing gala, right here on Shaw TV. All right, our first fighter of the night coming to the ring from the blue team, Jennifer Davies, age 28. She's a visual artist specializing in illustration. She did mention in her bio that she had a Kempo and self-defense system background.
Yeah, the Kempo background will be interesting to see if it plays a factor in this match. I mean, she could have good conditioning from that. She could be good, used to contact. At the same time, it's not boxing, so it won't have the same type of footwork, foot speed. But like I say, I have no idea what we expect to see here tonight. All I know is that I'm excited, and I know that these people are going to put it on the line.
So our fighter out of the red corner, first fighter of the night out of the red corner, Nikki Cicko, age 28. I love what she said here about one of the most challenging aspects of training was actually the sparring, because when you first start training, you're hitting pads, you're doing all those things, but then once you're up against a moving target, she said that's going to hit you back. That really has an impact on how you're going to be
trying to connect the hands and feet together in this sport is a very difficult thing to do. It takes years to learn how to throw powerful punches while moving. So yeah, the moving target, that's why you need to move in this sport. If you stand still, you're going to get hit. So good footwork, fast feet, good conditioning will keep you safe in this sport. Keep that chin down and those hands up, and it'll go a long way to protect you. We will be fighting 3 2-minute rounds, 1 minute rest in between. And this is a 10-point must system under the BC amateur boxing rules.
So Jason, when you got a coaching background in boxing, when you're coaching somebody that's completely new to this, what are some of the basics, some of the keys that you train them for winning their fight?
Hands up, chin down, move, stay off the ropes, don't be square with your opponent. If they come out and they can demonstrate those basics, that's a good solid foundation, and we hope to see that tonight. I know they've trained hard. But again, this is the first fight of the night, so this is going to set the tone for the evening, and the crowd here is all excited. We're ready to go. Just fixing that headgear.
I remember this was all too familiar when I did Fight for the Cause for the first time. I was the first fight of the night, and you don't really have that advantage of observing the other fights before you you really do, like you said, have to set the tone.
Yeah. And I do have to say, the red corner does look, to me, a little more battle-ready in the sense of her demeanor. You know, blue corner looks pretty relaxed, but, you know, she can be burning less energy being relaxed. So.
Here we go, first fight of the night for Fight for the Cause 6.
Nikki trying to establish that jab. It's good, both of their hands are up, they're both moving. Nikki with some good body shots there.
Those initial jabs really help establish that that distance that you're wanting to keep with your fighter.
Yeah, nice prodding tool. Pick your shots. Oh, big left hook. So far, they've come out very composed. I'm impressed with what I've seen for first-time fighters. It's good to see. Hands are up, chins are down, they're moving. Establishing the jab. Changing levels with the body and the head. It's good.
Which is true. When we're so used to looking at it on TV and being able to analyze. Once you're in that ring, sometimes, especially for the first time, flailing can happen, all sorts of things. Just adrenaline just gets to you.
Yeah. And
they are doing a great job, both of them, of keeping it composed.
Jenny seems to be picking up the pace here a little bit.
Straight punch, 2 more. Ready? To the body. They still need 2 more, Jen. Come on.
10 seconds left. It's a very evenly matched round. What a roll. So, wise decision for Nikki to put that extra little effort into that last 10 seconds of the round. That's a tough round to score, but that may have been enough for her to swing
All right,
around.
We're gonna go to a replay here and see what's happening. See, that composure is there. They're setting up their shots with their jabs, throwing the hooks right afterwards.
That was that big left hook that she landed. A very close round.
Head movement is also, I found, a really difficult thing to learn right off the hop.
Yeah.
With 8 weeks of training.
It takes energy, and your brain has to constantly tell you to move your head. It's not a natural movement. But it'll sure help you in avoiding punches. Second round about to get underway here. Little bit of a delay in the corner. Oh, big right hand. Their punches are nice and straight, which is impressing me. It's nice to see him throw into all these body shots. It's not an easy thing to do for a beginner fighter.
For beginner fighters, you usually see them try to hit shots to the head. The body shots are really effective though. You got that anxiety, you got them breathing really heavily because they're nervous. Might as well take the win.
They take energy out of you. They really, she's landed a couple of big right hands, Jenny. This is where the fatigue starts to set in. You can see Nikki's feeling the fatigue. They both are. They're both breathing hard.
And right around this time, the middle of the fight, usually these 2-minute rounds.
Big right
there you go. these 2-minute rounds sometimes seem like forever to these fighters that are in the middle of the ring.
Oh, another big right hand from Jenny. And again. And again.
Davies is doing a really good job of setting up that hook.
Nikki is dropping her hands. She's getting tired. She's not moving as much. And that right hand is coming over top of that jab. If that jab doesn't come back high, there's a vulnerability for it. And that's been Jenny's most effective weapon this round. And again. Nikki has got to keep that left hand up or she's going to get punished by that right hand. Again, another exciting round. You know, still a very close fight here. I think this next round is going to make or break this fight. I think this is a round apiece, and I think this fight is wide open.
All right, let's go to a replay, see what happened here. See, all those hooks that Davies is setting up, really paying off for her.
There's that big right hand. She landed that a number of times, and I think that's just the deciding factor in this round. Jenny can just, if Nikki can just keep that left hand up, you know, make sure she's not getting caught with that right over top of her jab, even circling away from it. You know, if you realize you're getting hit with it, just move away from it. You know, I mean, she's got to move that head. She looks like she's recovering. She's in the fight. She's game. She's not breathing too hard now. She looks ready to go. Third and final round here. Again, some problems with the red corner. They're a little slow. Jenny again looking to set up that right hand. And there it is. Good job. She's found a home with it. And again. She's doing a good job, Jenny is, with that right hand. She's throwing it to the body, she's throwing it to her head. So Nikki's having a hard time picking that up. That really is showing to be the defining punch of this fight. She's just having so much success with it, but Nikki's coming back now, putting the pressure on.
When that fatigue sets in, those hands get really heavy. They get hard to keep up, and it's kind of showing sometimes, and especially.
Oh, I got to give Nikki credit. She's taking some solid right hands.
She's staying in there. She's staying in there.
She's game. She came to fight. She is not slowing down. She is not hurt. There's no quit. Gotta move her feet. Gotta move her head. Oh, again with that right hand. I think that's where Nikki needs to be in this fight, is just to put a lot of pressure on her and stay close, because she can't get away from that right hand at the long distance. Oh. 10 seconds left. That's what she needs to do, just bring the pressure. Smother that right hand.
That was a strong final 10 seconds of that match.
Excellent fight. Very exciting.
They both deserve all the credit in the world with that.
Well, they know what they're in for now. They got their first fight in. I think they both did an excellent job.
Let's go to the replay here. Let's see some of the highlights from that last round.
Oh,
look at those hooks.
Big,
look at those
hard
hooks.
Right hand.
That was definitely Jennifer's go-to, and that worked really well for her.
With that jab, you know, when you throw in your jab, it has to come back high. It really does. You know, if a fatigue jab, you're standing right in front of that right hand, and it'll come over the top, and you'll pay for it. And I think that's the deciding factor in this fight.
Yeah. When we were asking the fighters earlier about what they're most nervous about with the fight, a lot of what they were talking about was, you know, the hype, the performance aspect of things, and a lot of their answers really had to do with the audience, being out here and feeling those nerves and that having that factor into their fight.
Yeah, boxing is such a great way to practice your focus. I mean, it is so distracting being in this kind of an environment. So, you know, to be able to come out here and perform and tune all of this out, that is an incredible skill to have, and usually that takes a lot of time to master that, to tune everything out. But I think they did a fantastic job. They didn't seem too stressed out. They had good gas tanks. You know, that's. I remember how tired I was for my fights. How tired were you in yours?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could barely stand during my fight. I just wanted to crawl into the corner and take a nap.
We're waiting for the judge's decision here.
So when we're going over this, like just how much of boxing to you as a coach and as a fighter, how much of it is a mental challenge over a physical one?
I say, I mean, you can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't want to be in that fight, if your heart isn't into it, you're not into it. It's the mental side. Split.
Your winner, fighting out the blue
There you go, first fight for blue.
Split decision.
Yeah, split decision for Jennifer Davies. Congratulations to both of those fighters, though. Really set the bar for the night.
Great sportsmanship, great respect for each other, great fight. I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah. The second fighter of the night, Josh Boudreau out of the blue corner, age 30, and is the head bartender at Veneto Lounge, lead guitarist for local band Ellis Blackout. So he really has a lot of experience, you know, performing in front of a crowd. Let's see how that translates to the ring.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be used to performing. He does have a long reach too. He's a big, tall guy. We'll see if he's able to establish that reach and make that length work for him. Standing 6'4", 178 pounds.
Brett Goss, age 22, from the red corner. He joined the Fight for the Cause charity boxing gala as a participant. He said it sounded like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, which is probably not the first time you're going to hear that tonight. Got him in a great shape. It's all for a great cause. Looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a weight and height disadvantage here, standing 6'2", weighing 170 pounds. His opponent, Josh, is like I said, he's got a 2-inch reach and a 8-pound weight difference. Really not that much at this level, you know what I mean? But we'll see how how this fight goes. If Josh can keep this fight on the outside, I think that would be a good game plan. Lots of straight punches and movement, and I'm sure Brett's going to want to get in on the inside here and put some pressure on him, not allow him to use that range.
Which is a tough game as the shorter fighter, because you're going to get to the inside. You're going to have to, you know, accept the fact that you're going to be eating a few shots to get in there.
Yeah, and these 3 2-minute rounds, that's not a lot of time to wear a taller fighter down. You know, a guy can, you know, a boxer should be able to move for 3 2-minute rounds, no problem. But you know, the longer fights, guys start to get tired out. Those legs get tired, and you can't quite move like you'd like to. But we'll see. You know, he's really going to have to put the pressure on and cut off the ring in order to deal with that range. But you never know. Josh, blue corner, may not try to use that range. You know, just because he's tall doesn't mean that's where he needs to be.
Here we go, first round.
Ooh. You can feel the power in these punches. They're slugging. Oh, big right hand. There you go. Again with the big right hand, right on the chin. Oh.
Both of these guys not really wasting any time. You know, going with their straight shots.
You know, if this is anything like the last fight, we saw a lot of success out of the blue corner with those straight right hands coming over top of the jabs.
We got a mouth guard
mouthpiece
out.
comes out. It means he's tired already. Mouth is already open and he's breathing.
That was one of the big things in training, as I remember, is especially with Coach Cassius. One of his main things that he gets you to do is train with your mouth guard on.
Yeah, you have to get used to breathing with it, and you really want to bite down on it and be biting down on that the whole time. Getting hit with an open mouth is just, big right hand. Big right hand from Goss.
Seeing a lot of shots upstairs, especially just in this first round. Yeah. There you see Josh using his advantage in his reach a bit.
And referee Bob Higgins issuing an 8 count. Thought he was in trouble. And this is where that 8-pound weight difference can play a factor. You know, you've got a big right hand comes back from Brett. Again, the mouthpiece comes out. No. It's buying him a little bit of much needed time, I think, right now, while he just recomposes himself. He is going to get, he decided to do a push-up on the round, in between the round, or in between, during the break in the action. You can't put your gloves on the ground.
Yeah, as much as you want to put on a show.
Brett's really lifting his chin and paying the price for it. But protect yourself at all times, right? #1 rule in this sport.
One thing I'm noticing with Brett, in terms of actually throwing punches, throwing his counter punches, he is lifting that front leg a lot, which puts him off balance quite a bit.
Off balance and on his heels, which he just will not be able to generate the power if he's off. You know, if that axis is off and his weight is on his heels. You really got to be sinking down low.
Let's go to a replay and see some of his highlights from this round here.
Now Brett's keeping his chin down when he's defending, but not when he's punching, and that's where Josh is finding these openings.
And there goes the mouth guard on that one. So that's where he was kind of stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, they don't like those gloves being on the ground because they can pick up some debris and potentially cause a cut with some debris on the glove. And as we look into the blue corner there, Cash is giving his opponent, his fighter, some last-minute technique advice here. I'm sure he's telling him to stay long and keep on those long punches.
The stance is really key when you're actually in the ring. You notice with Brett kind of leaning back, his front foot being lifted off the canvas quite a bit. He doesn't really have a decent enough stance to, like, to kind of keep him.
You cannot generate power when you're up like that.
And your movement too. You can't move away from punches if you've got one leg off the canvas.
And that mouth guard has come out again. I'm surprised the referee hasn't given him a warning for that, because you know, technically you can be taking a point away for that.
Oh, there goes a big shot. Huge shot. Huge shot. He's coming back, though. He's coming back.
He's fired up now. This crowd's going crazy. Yeah, Brett has Red corner has got to fix that stance in order to be able to trade these punches and generate with power, but he is against a bigger man, and that does play a factor. You know, that more mass puts you on your heels, and if it knocks that balance off, you just can't generate the power through the legs.
Oh, there you go. Josh trying to push, pick him up and put him into the corner.
He felt that one. He felt that one.
Sort of reacting to that shot from Brett.
Oh. Both exchanging vicious blows right now. Wow, exciting round.
And we got an 8 count just at the end of this round here.
He's letting, referee Bob Davies is letting this fight go.
You got to give Brett credit, though, for as much as he's kind of been, you know, taking the headshots, taking all of those hard shots.
He's in it. He's in it. He's not quitting, and he's come back. I mean, that was his best punch. He had Josh rocked on the ropes there. Josh did the right thing, which was hold him and turn him. Did it a little bit. Could have been done with a little more elegance because the ref broke it up at that point, but. He nonetheless bought himself time, is what he needed to do, because we could tell he felt that one. Now, if Brett can just keep his chin down and his hands up and pick his shots a little better, specifically keeping his hands up and chin down when he's about to punch, because that's where he's been getting beat by the longer man.
Yeah. And he's got the drive, so if he does that, he can definitely take this round back.
That should have been a boost for his confidence, because he knows Josh felt that right hand.
Yeah, he saw him dazed.
There we go. Now he's bringing the pressure. That's where he wants to be. Not outside on that tall guy, inside. But he's got to be strong in the stance in order to be able to do it effectively. Ooh. Oh, Bob coming in to give another 8 count. We'll see if Bob, yeah, he's letting it go.
Yeah. Brett's still determined. Again, this is a mental game.
Little, the rules are constantly changing in this. Oh, little discussion between the referee and the official on the 8 counts there. What the number allowed is. Oh.
Now, there used to be a limit to how many 8 counts you can have in a fight.
Oh.
He's got to keep his hands up.
He just wasn't demonstrating intelligent defense, so they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
He's standing in front of him, hands sort of protecting himself, not moving his head, and the referee made the right call, I think, in stopping that fight. This is this is amateur. This is for charity. We don't need to see anybody take any unnecessary damage. As we see the replay here, again, that mouth guard coming out. Another big right hand, changed it to the body, following to the head on wobbly legs. But again, still in the fight and coming back. And doing the right thing. That's where he needed to take this fight, on the inside. But the stance was a big problem, and that's just a beginner mistake, you know, just not able to stay in that stance and generate power from it.
That's right. We'll go to Dylan Willows right now in the ring. He's going to call it officially here.
Again, great sportsmanship, great camaraderie. That's great to see. That's what this sport is all about.
Very much so.
You know, sometimes people get the wrong idea of what this sport is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by referee stoppage. Fighting out of the blue corner.
Yeah, you're very right about that. The amount of sportsmanship that you see in combat sports, especially after the fight, both of these fighters realize that, you know, they walk into the ring, they're both champions. They did 8 weeks of training. This is the exact same training camp, and it was a challenge that they both overcame. They met in the middle of the ring tonight. Yeah. Basically, it's kind of like what we were saying when they were calm during the weigh-in. Their job was done, you know, and it was just all about showcasing their job tonight here in the ring. Now, leading off fight number 3, coming from the blue corner, Sasha Tanoushka, age 43. Some of these fighters, you're gonna learn a lot about them and a lot of what motivated them to get into fight for the cause. And Sasha herself, she's experienced some trauma from sexual physical abuse when she was younger. She overcame all of that. She started kickboxing for fitness. She started even teaching it. And she's got quite the story that led her into the ring tonight. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do tonight.
Sasha is a wonderful person. I'm curious to see what is going to happen when she gets in the ring. And because she's such a nice person, you know what I mean? And now it's time to fight. Is she going to step up and fight? That's the question that I have about her. In the training that I've seen her do, it's hard to judge a person when they're training because they're not training with intent to injure their training partners. When they come to fight, they step up their game, right? So, with her, is she going to bring her A game here and step it up? Because she has a tough fight with Keira here. Sasha's 9 years older, I believe. Is that a factor?
Keira Higgins out of the red team, age 34. She actually works in the Parliament buildings for the Deputy Minister to the Premier.
Well, she must have some stress to take out.
Oh, yeah.
Is that why she signed up?
That could be. But you did touch on a really interesting point about anybody that gets into the ring. They may seem like a really nice person, but that all kind of has to leave the ring once you enter it.
Yeah, it's combat. So far, the two fights have gone to the blue corner. And the big thing that I've seen get exposed so far has been the straight rights. The blue team has been able to land hard straight rights down the pipe, and we'll see what kind of advice the red corner here can give their fighters. They got to make sure these fighters are getting out of the way of that right hand, because that's generally the most powerful punch your opponent is going to throw, and blue team has found significant success with it tonight so far.
They definitely have some very qualified coaches in their corners. For the red team, we have Bailey Wilkins, who has been a Fight for the Cause coach for 3 years. She's a 4-time national light welterweight boxing champion. You also got Adam Braidwood in there, who really kind of needs no explanation of his fight background. WBU heavyweight champion. He's a Fight for the Cause coach for the first time this year. And then let's not count out the blue team, of course, with Cassius, who's the owner of Merge Combat and Fitness. He's been a coach for Fight for the Cause 3 years now. He was there for year 1, year 2, and now here year 6.
Yeah, it's a interesting contrast of coaching styles, because the red corner are competitive athletes. They are competitive. They do have a background in competition, where the blue corner, Cassius, doesn't have a background as a competitor. He has a background as a coach, but he's found success so far tonight. But there's lots to go. Lots more fights to go.
So far, Higgins coming out as the aggressor.
Sometimes when you're a beginner, you have a tendency to turn your head away from the blows. It's a very dangerous thing to do, and Sasha's turning her head away. It's an instinct that must be overcome, because you can't see the punches coming when you do that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I had to, I realized it was one of the toughest things, was that flinch reflex. You see something coming at your face, your natural reflex is to flinch or to turn your face away.
And that's why you have to spar. That's where sparring, and Sasha is being overwhelmed right now. I think she's getting a standing 8 count here for just being overwhelmed with pressure. Overwhelmed with pressure. Bit of a long 8 count here, making sure she wants to be in here. Letting it go. Oh, no, sorry, not an 8 count. Not an 8 count.
Just some time to compose herself.
Oh, again, that just not able to see those punches coming. If you can't see them, you cannot defend yourself.
And it's one of the scariest things, not knowing where your punches are coming from.
don't know if the referee is going to allow this to continue. I think he stopped the action. Yeah, it's over. Just not intelligent defense, and I think it was a decent stoppage. She was just overwhelmed with the volume of punches coming from Keira and not able to defend herself.
We're going to go to a replay, see what happens here. We can see how many times Sasha will turn her head. And unfortunately, you know, that is a very tough thing to train out of new fighters. Yeah, you know, and especially somebody that's coming from a background like Sasha, who's you know, might have a little bit of stress in terms of getting into the ring, getting actual punches thrown at you. You know, credit to her for seeing her training through and getting to this point. It is just a very tough emotional sport. Yeah, and you know, she also is 9 years older, I believe. So, you know, I got to give her respect for getting in here. And you know, she tried. You know, limited amount of sparring, and you know, that limited amount of sparring, you could see she just didn't have the intelligent defense. And like I say, if you can't see the punches coming in this sport, you can't defend them. And the ones that you don't see are going to do the damage to you, the most amount of damage to you, because you can't brace for it.
We have a winner by referee stoppage, fighting out of the red corner.
Well, red corner had a comeback on this one.
That's right. That's right. Allison Shelrud, age 25. She is a professionally trained cake decorator, and I can't wait to see what she can do in Cassius's corner here. She joined Fight for the Cause to, you know, she said she wanted to push herself in a new and physical way, which is very, very true. Like some of these, yeah, exactly. Boxing is definitely one of the best ways to get in shape fast.
Yes. And motivated. You will be motivated in this sport, because if you're not in shape, you will pay.
Yeah.
The motivation in this sport is I mean, I have a hard time running. But if I was training, I mean, I'm retired now, but when I was training for a fight, I had no choice to run. Yeah. Every morning, get up so motivated to run. You know, you have no choice. So I'm sure she's gotten herself into great shape so far. The blue corner and the red corner teams have shown themselves to be in great shape, not gassing out, which is usually something we see with beginner fighters.
Yeah. Yeah, that motivation, I echo your sentiments on running, but that motivation that you're going to get into the ring one night and get punched in the face, if you're
running,
you have to commit.
No choice.
Yeah. Melissa Perron, age 25, coming out of the red corner. She teaches swimming lessons at the Commonwealth Pool. Swimming is definitely one way to get in shape, one way to use all of your muscles for boxing.
And again, we're seeing a small advantage in height and weight. Melissa has a 4-inch height advantage and a 7-pound weight advantage. Again, not enough to be concerned with, but all things being equal, that size can play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
And the conditioning, you know, the conditioning of being a swim coach, you know, she's you know, going to be in good shape, and she's probably trained hard for this. So.
I love some of these stories as well, from especially from some of the female fighters that we've seen tonight. Melissa is definitely no exception. She was one of these kids who loved boxing as a kid, but was told, no, you can't box. You know, you can't box. You don't want to mess up your face. You know, it's just something that girls don't do. This is something that she's overcoming tonight, which is something to very much be proud of.
Yeah, you can see the height advantage. It is pretty significant here. But again, does it play a factor? It doesn't necessarily play a factor. It's all about who can fight the style of fight that they want. see Melissa come out with good movement. Oh, big right hand.
Melissa doing a great job of keeping the distance with those jabs.
Yeah, and settling down and moving. It's so important to pace yourself in this sport.
Yeah.
Calculate what you do.
Three 2-minute rounds doesn't seem like a long time, but when you're in the ring and your heart's pounding, it is a long
nice
time.
Big right hand, again with the right hand.
There's those hooks again coming from the blue team.
Oh, putting the pressure on. This is doing a pretty good job of this. Oh, big right hand over top of that jab. Well, the headgear has come undone here. The ref's going to take Allison back to the corner to make an adjustment here.
Gives her a little bit of time to recover from that right hand.
Some big, solid both blows on butt by both of them in that last round. Again with that. Oh, big left. These girls have some power. They are cracking each other. A lot of power in these punches from these ladies. Again, it's a difficult round to judge. They both landed pretty heavy blows.
And also not letting that height advantage phase her. Just moving forward, throwing those punches.
Last 10 seconds of the round here. Alyssa finding some more range on that right hand, keeping it at the distance she wants to, using her reach.
That was a great first round for both of them.
Boy, they both landed some heavy shots in that round.
Let's go see some of the replay of this. Here we go. Look at that. She was very much back and forth in this round. Allison not letting those, the height advantage really phase her.
Staying in there and committing to those combinations in that mid-range is going to take Melissa's range away. But Melissa's landed some nice solid right hands from the distance there.
Yeah, she's doing a good job of keeping her distance and landing those shots. I love the difference in styles in terms of the corner during the breaks. Cassius and the blue team so far have not ever used their stool.
Yeah.
And could be just a not wanting to let the energy out.
Allison's a little bit flat-footed right now. She needs to move those feet and not stand in front of this, in front of that taller opponent at that range. That's it. She's moving forward now. That's where she needs to be, putting the pressure on, but picking her time when she comes in, calculating when she's going to come in.
It's a very difficult thing as the shorter fighter to try to find your opening to try to get onto the inside. What would you usually have your fighters do?
Patience is so important in this sport. You know, if you can be, if you're behind, you can't. It's hard to be patient. But calculating when you're coming in, taking the right time, so important. Instead of forcing and trying to chase that taller person, if they move backwards, then you're walking into their punches. And the momentum of you walking into it makes that power more significant. She's got to move her head, and then when she makes her miss, step off that. There she goes. Step off that back leg and continue with the combinations. There she goes. That's it. That's what she needs to do. And then take a breath and go again. And again, there's that big right hand, straight right down the pipe for Melissa. seconds left. Again, very close fight, very evenly matched. Very even match.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to call at this point because they're going back and forth quite a bit.
You know, those are the tough fights to judge. You know, you've got the person from the outside landing these clean shots, and then the pressure and maybe more volume coming from the blue corner. As you can see in the replay here, she's bringing that pressure.
Yeah, moving forward, keeping those shots coming.
And that's what she needs to do, but that takes so much energy.
Yeah.
And you have to pick and choose your timing properly. You have to be patient.
Well, the moment you back off, too, as the shorter fighter, you're giving the taller fighter that advantage back.
Yeah. She, having a look at Melissa in the corner here, she's recovered well. She, you know, they've both recovered well. They're not breathing that heavily. The coaches have done a good job of getting these fighters in shape. We go into the third round here. Hands have dropped a little bit. That's where that fatigue, yeah.
There you go.
And that's the pressure that she needs to bring.
Allison doing a good job of getting her at all levels, going to the body when she needs to, going to the head when she needs to.
You can see the fatigue starting to factor in. They're both dropping their hands a little bit more now as they punch. Not as much energy to be able to pull the hands back to protect their heads. Ooh, another big right hand. Nice jab from Melissa. Again with that right hand. Good exchanges, good exchanges.
Really good exchanges.
But she's following her. You notice that she followed her instead of cut her off. She's giving Melissa that space again. You know, she needs to bring that pressure, but cut her off and keep her in the corner, keep her on the ropes.
Yeah, part of what we were learning as amateur boxers is really just fighting for that center portion of the ring and then cutting your opponent off. If you're following her, you're really allowing yourself to come along the side.
Now she's cutting her off, and this is where she needs to be. But she's following her again. She needs to step around and cut her off. That allows the longer fighter to use their range. Oh, another big right hand by Melissa. This is going to be a tough one for the judges. This is a very close fight.
Yeah, it was quite evenly matched.
I'm glad I'm not judging this one.
No. Check out some of the highlights from this round here.
And bringing that pressure, was it enough? That forward pressure and that volume of punches, you know, she would have had a lot more success if she could have cut the ring off. But Melissa, you know, was able to establish that jab and land a lot of straight punches and hard punches from a distance. It's, like I say, it's a really challenging one to score. You know, you go with what looked like the harder punches from the outside, the cleaner punches, or the more volume and pressure boxing on the inside. It's, you know, this is where the judging of this sport can be a real challenge. As I don't see any winner or loser in this fight. And you can see on both coaches' faces, I don't know if they know who's got this either.
No, but you do see on their faces pride. The amount of effort that both of these fighters put into this one fight was pretty phenomenal. Yeah. And seeing it go back and forth like that, you couldn't ask for a better fight.
And again, the great camaraderie and respect of the athletes here. You know, it's so good to see, and really what this sport is all about.
Out of the red corner.
So Dylan Wills has stated this was a unanimous decision in favor of the red corner. That would have been a really tough thing to call. I would have thought that it would have gone at least split. It was pretty even for the full fight.
I guess the judges went with the cleaner punches, the outside punches. You know, those are more scoring blows. You know, the hooks sometimes, you know, depending on where it's hitting, it's a harder punch to read. The straight punch, you know, snaps the head back and is hitting the scoring target. And my guess is that's what the judges saw in this. They saw the cleaner punches over the volume. Rhodel making his way out to the ring here. 32 years old, 168 pounds, standing 5'6". Rhodel Herminiano. The blue corner has done a good job here of getting their athletes ready. Everybody's come in good shape. The hands are up, the chins are down. They've been nice, even fights so far. And blue and red corner are now at 2 wins apiece. The red corner has made a nice comeback. Everybody loves a comeback.
Oh, yeah. Luke Mynott, age 37, is an audio-visual technician for Freeman Audio Visual, who happens to be a sponsor. I love one thing that he said in his bio, that you know, one of his motivations for actually doing this is he's got a young son, and he wants to show him something that you know, he can be proud of him someday. Show him that he can actually get into boxing, teach him that boxing could be a safe way to get into shape, learn self-defense, and you know, if you have the right coaches.
And overcoming fears, you know, that is one of the tremendous things that this sport can do. Make you face your fears, challenge them, face them head on. And they both seem pretty calm on the outside, but I'm sure on the inside they're feeling the nerves right now.
Yeah, those hearts are beating.
You know, those first, like, there's so much anticipation. You know, these guys have been thought about this a long time ago, signed up for this, the 2-month training camp, thinking about it the whole time, weigh-ins, medicals, waiting, anticipation that takes such a tremendous toll on you if you can't relax through it. But these guys both look pretty relaxed.
Yeah, one of the things that Luke had said in his bio, that he was most nervous about having that 1,000-plus pair of eyes on him as he's entering the ring. Doesn't appear to show those nerves right now as he's in the middle.
It's so important to be able to keep those nerves in check, because they exhaust you if you let them. That stress and anxiety will deplete your adrenaline.
That's right. Go fight number 5 of the night.
Luke's bringing the pressure early. Oh, big left hook. Now this big uppercut. Nice head movement on that one. These guys are throwing hard. Not wasting any time, getting right into it. And this is where it's so important to be breathing in here. You know, if these guys keep this pace without breathing, tense, holding their breath, they are going to get tired. So important.
And that's one thing that's hard to remember. Oh, you got a knockdown right there.
Looks like a flash knockdown. He seems to be back on solid legs. That one caught him clean.
This is a testament to how your stance when you're in the ring, especially when the gloves are flying like that, really will help you keep up on your feet.
He's done. Blue corner does have some solid shots.
Yeah, those hooks from Rhodel look painful.
Yeah. And targeting that body well, doing a good job of mixing it up between the head and the body. Oh, big right hand.
Man.
Coming back from Luke. Catching his breath, back on it. Yeah, you can see that the pace is starting to slow a little bit. They both came out so strong.
And just like you were saying, actually breathing while those flurries are happening, it's a hard thing to remember, and that can really tire you out.
A lot of clean punches landed by both of these guys in this round. A lot of pressure brought on both sides of that. Not a lot of calculation in there. Standing in front of there, going toe to toe, which always makes for an exciting fight.
We're gonna go to a replay, and we'll probably get a good chance to see.
Yes, we can see this knockdown, which looked to be like a right hook. I don't think this.
So this is the opening flurry right here.
Yeah.
Those giant shots from both of these fighters. There goes that knockdown, and again, it looks like really just that footing was, as he was moving backwards, he kind of got caught with a hook.
Not quite over his hips, not quite centered. I don't know how badly he was hurt. I don't think he was hurt that bad, but it was just a solid punch that knocked him off balance, and that is scored a knockdown.
You got to give credit to Rhodel going downstairs as the shorter fighter.
Yes.
He is going to the body quite a bit, which does take a lot more wind out of you.
He did a good job of mixing up his body and head punches, and that will lower the hands of your opponent. Create openings. Look at. Oh, again with that big overhand right.
There's a really good connection followed by a bit of a slip.
Again, didn't quite have his feet underneath him, but you know, that's again, the stance is so a problem. If that was a stronger, more solid stance, that probably wouldn't have put him down. He would have wobbled him, but he'd have been on solid feet. We'll see how badly he's hurt. You know, those body punches are effective. He's in the pocket there. He's really dropping his hands instead of his stance, and that's been a lot of success for the blue corner. Changing those levels of attacks.
Rhodel's got an interesting style. You can see he's kind of coming, his punches are coming from definitely weird angles.
Yeah.
That you can't really, Luke's having a hard time finding. You got first-time fighters whose traditional instinct is to keep those hands on the chin and let those punches come from the hands on the chin. But you know, you see Rhodel has his hands down for most of the fight. His hands are usually coming down from his hips, and they're hard to predict.
Yeah, and he's dropping his hands from the outside, but he does keep them protecting himself and tuck his head when he's on the inside. So it is hard to read, and he's finding good success. Luke just can't find his range here. Oh, there's a big right hand. Right at the very end, a little comeback. Is it enough? You know, considering he got knocked down in that round. Again, a very good job of body punching from Rhodel. That's not something you see in a lot of beginner fighters. So credit to him and credit to his corner for you know, motivating him to find success with that, to stick with it. You know, you can see here, these body punches set up the head punches, you know?
Yeah.
It make you keep those hands down, protecting your body, and again, you know, set up by the body punch. Well done.
And here comes those body punches we were talking about.
But Luke with a nice comeback flurry at the end of that round. Good pressure. Red corner a little bit late getting out of that ring there. But I don't think they mind buying their fighter a little bit of extra recovery time.
Oh, keeping the pressure up.
Whatever they said to him, they motivated him. He's bringing the pressure.
Yeah, he's got a fire on him right now.
But can he sustain this pace for the whole round? That's what he needs to do. Put him on his heels, bring the pressure.
And he's got Rhodel in the corner.
Because he's behind in this fight with those 2 knockdowns. He has got to stop him here to win this fight. Winning this round is not enough.
You can tell that fatigue's really kicking in. He had Rhodel in the corner, and all of a sudden he just kind of started to back off a little. When you got a fighter in the corner, your instinct is to throw shots, throw shots, throw shots. But that's a really difficult thing to do when you have no more wind.
As a beginner, you haven't felt what it feels like to cast yourself out. You don't quite know where that threshold is, so it's hard. But he's still got gas in the tank, and he's bringing it. Good job holding, catching a breath. He is tired. They are both tired. These guys have given it everything they have, and there's still time to go.
Yeah.
Get those hands up. Got to give Luke credit. This is a tremendous comeback in this 3rd round. But is it enough? He's eating some heavy shots now. Rhodel is really bringing it on.
Yeah, fatigue is getting into both of them, but there's still some sting in Rhodel's shots.
Great round. Great round. I just don't know. I don't think it was enough from the red corner. Those 2 knockdowns, that's probably 2 10-8 rounds for that, which makes it pretty tough to come back from.
Here in this replay, you're going to be able to take a look at some of the comeback from Luke.
Yeah, and that's a good spot for him to be, with bullying him into the ropes, keeping him on his heels and landing those punches. But again, that takes a lot of energy to do that.
You can see the sting in Rhodel's shot. Some of those ones right around the end, you can see him, Luke, a little bit dazed by them.
You can see the fatigue in these guys. They gave it all. They're going to feel that tomorrow.
Oh, for sure.
Again, so good to see such great sportsmanship with all these athletes here. You know, it's really good to see.
I'll be honest, that was a bit of a surprise. I'm surprised. I'm a little.
I gotta say, I'm confused by that decision. I think somewhere there was an error, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but was there not 2 knockdowns?
There were 2 knockdowns in that round. It's which is obviously a very tough thing.
I think we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Here we go. Fight number 6, Meagan Wesley out of the blue corner, age 32. She's a hairstylist for Hive Hair Boutique Hair Salon down on Cormorant Street. One of the things I loved about her bio is that it really echoed some of the reasons why, you know, other people kind of choose to participate in this, is that it ushers in an era of change in your life. She had a really tough year. She wanted to kind of let go of break hard habits and toxic relationships. And this would be a really good way for a fresh start because you're getting into shape, you're doing something and achieving a goal, and you're working towards something.
Yeah, it's great. So many positive aspects come with this sport. Healthy outlet for training, great place to spend your energy, great camaraderie, great groups of people to train with, and sounds like the boxing training has been very good for her. And I look forward to her showcasing her skills here tonight. Standing 5'7", weighing 142 pounds, 32 years old. They're just doing some work on her ears there. I guess had some piercings in it before they could put those that headgear on.
And Shemine has quite the background. She's a counselor, sessional instructor at UVic, doctoral student in the School of Child and Youth Care. And she's got this goal to become, as mentally and as physically strong as her clients so that she can continue to offer them the best care possible. Again, another story as to why someone would choose to participate in an event like this.
That's great. So many of these athletes are so inspiring with what their goals are here for this event. It's great to see. And this is obviously a very intelligent woman in here. And I got to tell you, as a coach, when you're coaching a very intelligent student that has the ability to absorb the knowledge that you're giving them, if they have the coordination to do it and the athleticism to do it, that makes for a very, very skilled student.
That's right. One of the things that I love that she wrote down in her bio is that she's fighting for all the children, youth, and their families that have played a role in her academic and professional journey. Taught her that strength comes from within and that no battle is too big to take on when she has high desire, heart, passion, and love. That's really well-written bio she has there.
She's got a battle of a 5-inch reach disadvantage tonight here, so we'll see how that factors in for her. She better move her head and get in on the inside against Meagan here. You can see the nerves on both of them.
Yeah.
It's that anticipation. Finally, once that bell goes, it's you get to let it go.
Well, both of these fighters, they stated that they're most nervous about getting themselves to the ring. Well, they're there now, so let's get it started.
Lots of pressure so far.
Yeah. Meagan was trying to use her arms to kind of be able to keep her distance and just let her do a bit of pushing.
Well, she's got a reach advantage that she wants to use, but Shemine's put so much pressure in. She's not allowing her to use that reach advantage, but that also takes a lot of energy to keep that kind of pressure.
It does. It definitely does.
She's doing a good job of it so far, staying right in her face, keeping her on her heels, keeping her off balance so she can't generate that power. You can tell she's doing damage with those shots because that head keeps snapping back and she's turning her head now. And I think we're going to see
an 8 count here.
Yeah, standing 8 count, just too much overwhelming pressure.
Yeah, the pressure that Shemine's keeping up is really working out for her. Just part of what we were talking about with, you cannot turn your head. It's a really tough thing, but you cannot flinch because you don't know where punches are coming from. But part of the offensive plan is to keep that pressure up to make them flinch.
Yeah, she needs to start pushing and back, holding a little bit. instead of absorbing that punishment, step forward, tie her up, rotate, get her range back, because she's getting overwhelmed with the volume of punches on the inside now.
That's one of the big no-nos too, is turning your back in the ring, turning your back to your opponent.
But can the red corner keep this pace? Oh, big right hand.
Yeah, if Shemine's cardio is there and she's keeping the pace up like this.
She has got a will. She is bringing a lot of pressure. Overwhelming pressure. Meagan just can't get her distance, can't get her space. She's feeling that pace of this fight. She's tired from that round.
Yeah.
We'll see what her corner can do to fire her up for come out for this next round, because she was overwhelmed.
We're going to check out some of the highlights from this round. We're going to be able to see Shemine just keeping the pressure up with those straight shots.
And that's what you need to do against that taller fighter that's trying to use their range. Bring that pressure, bring that volume, and cut her off. She didn't cut her off so much, but she just kept in her face so much that Meagan was constantly off balance. Just can't generate any power, and had to resort to pushing, which is not effective enough to keep her off. She was just too determined to come in.
It's part of what makes this sport a very, very mental challenge over a physical one, because all Meagan really needs to do is work on those jabs to keep the distance.
You can see the frustration right now with Meagan. She's not quite sure how to handle her opponent here, what to do with it. And again, she's trying to resort to pushing. She'd be better off clinching. And that loopy right hand that she's throwing, you just can't generate a lot of power on that. It does make a sound, but it's more of a slap than it is a hard shot. So I don't think she's going to be able to. Again, she's landing a lot of them right now, one after another. Enough to back her off.
Yeah, the hooks were getting a little bit more powerful, a little bit more technique behind those hooks, but again, if you're just batting the hook, all you're really doing is slapping your opponent's headgear, not really creating that much of an impact.
She's finding it over and over, but just not enough to back her off.
And Shemine's just really not backing down. She's not letting her have her moment to really keep herself composed.
And that's really what she needs to do, Shemine, is just keep bringing this pressure. But if she could cut her off and keep her on the ropes, she'd find more success.
Fatigue's really starting to set in. Those hands are really starting to drop.
There we are. Now she's on the ropes. She's got nowhere to go. In the corner, that's where you can really do a lot of damage to your opponent, really score effectively. Oh, and she is tiring out. Legs are starting to get wobbly. That's where holding it just comes in. It can really save you, really just allow you to catch your breath. Just buy yourself a little bit of time, because this pace is just overwhelming her. I've really got to give Shemine credit for the pace that she has been able to keep. She has thrown a lot of punches in this round and still has energy. And credit to Meagan, she has taken everything that Shemine is throwing at her. She's standing there still in the fight and landed some big right hands of her own over and over and over.
Yeah, those right hands at the beginning of the round were really starting to work for her. She was needing to get her positioning a little bit more on those right hooks, and it started to work for her. Fatigues unfortunately set in kind of halfway through the round. She was dropping her hands a lot.
And the determination from Shemine to just stay on her, just stay in that range and keep punching. Even though she took quite a few hard right hands at the beginning of that round, it didn't back her off. It didn't get inside her head. She kept up that pressure, which is a challenging thing to do, because you're going to take them. I mean, you want to take them on the gloves. You want to take them on the, with a moving head. You want to take them off the elbows, but she stood in there, brought that pressure, closed that distance. and scored pretty effectively. And again, back to that pressure boxing style. And I think we're going to see a warning, but possibly take a point away. Yeah, he's taking a point away
for the pushing.
He's warned her numerous times. That gets her pretty far behind in this match, losing that point. She's really going to have to bring it. She wants to pull this out. But just too much pressure from the red corner. And the balance, keeping her, oh, but again.
She's just really got to turn those pushes into jabs and straight punches.
Yeah.
She'll be able to keep her distance.
And combinations is. We are seeing a lot of punches in this fight. Heavy, heavy volume of punches. Credit to both these athletes with their conditioning in here.
Yeah. Shemine's not letting up. She's going to the body. She's going to the head. She really has her composure in this fight.
And no quit in May. Oh, a big right hand.
There you go. That's what I wanted to see is Meagan coming back a little bit.
She's fired up. She's giving everything she can here. Another standing 8 count here.
But she was really giving it her all, which is it's a great thing to see. That's one of the things, especially in that third round, that you want to see from both of the fighters is them just pushing forward and not, because one of the things that's going to hurt the most after the fight is sort of the regret or the coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
What should I have done differently? What should I have done better?
If Meagan could have created a little more space and stepped back and caught Shemine coming in, she would have had more success, but she was a little bit off balance and just couldn't get the range on her punches. And Shemine did a very good job of just pressure boxing and smothering her, and it was the right strategy against a taller opponent. Just keep them on the ropes and don't let them use that range.
Go check out the highlights of this last round before the stoppage here.
Just the sheer will from the red corner here. She was very, very determined to just put on so much pressure in this fight here that just it was just overwhelming for Meagan, and just more than she could handle. Just the pace, just the exhaustion. I don't know if it was so much that she was hurt. I just don't think she had anything left.
No, there's definitely a mental aspect to the fight. And a lot of that mental aspect is really training your brain to convince yourself that you're not trapped in the ring with the other fighter. They're trapped in the ring with you. I think Shemine had that in this fight today.
Once again, a great display by both athletes. They really brought it. They gave everything they could. Both of them should hold their heads high.
Yeah, like we've said many times tonight, they are both champions. They've already finished their training. It was just a matter of getting into that ring. And
they've done a great job for raising money for all these charities. The Brazilian Cultural Foundation, Help Fill a Dream, Bridges for Women's Society, the Sanis Victoria, Firefighters Charitable Foundations.
All right, I'm going to be honest, Jason. I'm going to have a hard time keeping my composure on this one because this is my boy here. This is Sheldon.
That's your boy right there. It's all right if you're not biased on this. If you're a little biased on this one, I can handle that. I get it. That's your coworker, your friend. You want to see him do good. Looks a little nervous coming in there.
Yeah, the nerves definitely do play a part, and that's one of the things that we were talking about. He did this fight. He decided he really wanted to do this after watching me and the alumni fight, and my coworker Jenny West, who also did a fight for the first time last year in Fight for the Cause, and said he wants to try this for himself. And I'm proud of him for seeing this experience through.
Good for him. And those nerves, they either work for you or against you. You can't come in too calm, you can't come in complacent. So those nerves can bring out the best in you. So we'll see how he handles this pressure. But man, is this pro sport, does it ever bring some pressure to you?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're fighting in front of your hometown.
And I love how they pair these guys up. I find sometimes, like, they managed to find really similar lifestyles to pair together into the ring. Sheldon is a father of 3.
Yep.
Dustin walking to the ring right now on the red team, father of 3. He's chosen to participate and fight for the cause because he has those 3 young boys and he wants to lead by example. It's going to be an amazing thing to see, especially with two people with very similar backgrounds.
So very, very close in weight. 172 pounds for Sheldon out of the blue corner. 177 pounds for Dustin out of the red corner. Dustin has a little bit of a height advantage. We'll see if it plays a factor.
I did have a chance to talk strategy with Sheldon in terms of using that, his height, to really try to go to the body, to really try to take it to him downstairs.
Keep him off balance, land those body shots.
My heart, as a friend, watching somebody in the ring is pounding right now.
I know. And we're underway here. Lots of pressure coming out.
There's a lot of pressure from Dustin.
This is obviously a fan favorite here. The crowd is loud here today. Oh!
Sheldon goes down from that shot.
Right hand down the pipe. Bit of a flash knockdown. It looks like he has his legs underneath him, but it was a little bit off balance there.
It is a test. Sometimes it feels weird, but sometimes, a lot of the times, we're instructed to keep a wide stance. You know, and those wide stances will really help you when those hard shots come in.
Yeah, and that was just the range that Sheldon wants to avoid. He just doesn't want to be at the end of that cross. He's got to be. All that leverage is in that punch when he's there.
Part of what I was telling him before the fight is he's got to be willing to take those shots to get on the inside, weather that storm, and then get himself on the inside to take his win.
Nice combination by Sheldon there. Ideally, those are taken off the gloves, then you enter. It's just dangerous coming in and eating that one first. You know, you want to calculate, but yeah, just time that right and then bring the pressure. But yeah, you're gonna catch some coming in. And if you can step off the back leg, he'll be able to find that taller man. There he goes.
There you go.
But he's got to stay on balance.
Got to keep his hands up, too. That was a great uppercut that he threw when he got in on the inside, but his hands fell down, and he ate a couple of shots and moved him back, unfortunately.
The amount of balance that it takes to be a high-level boxer is incredible. It is so hard to punch and move with power at the same time. And there's greats out there that can do it, that make it look so easy, but you know, you can't have defense when you're charging in. You need to stay over your hips and keep your weight on planted on your feet, so you have that balance to be able to throw with power, and you have the ability to make that person miss. It's a challenge when you're fighting a taller fighter, because you've got to come in, you've got to push off that back leg, but yet stay on balance. And Sheldon started to find a little bit of success with that towards the end of the round.
Wonder if it was enough. It came right around the last 10 seconds.
Let's have a look at this replay here, see if we can see the punch.
There's the punch that knocked him down. Unfortunately, Dustin was at the exact angle that you really, and the distance that you really want to be when you land that punch that knocked Sheldon off of his feet.
But a testament to his will. He got right up, right back in the fight, no quit, motivated. And
sometimes it's all it takes. Though that opening flurry right at the beginning of the round, that's just the, hey, this is real, let's wake up moment. and now he knows what to expect, and now he can come back from it.
I myself always like a slow, calculated, calm first couple of rounds, you know. Get a good read, because, yeah, guys have so much power when they're first throwing their punches, you know. You got to take your time, settle down. Less is more sometimes, but it's so hard because you have so much adrenaline just telling you to fight.
Yeah, that's right. The difference between the two, Sheldon's really got to widen that stance. I noticed Dustin's stance is pretty wide. He's going to be a tough guy to knock down if Sheldon lands a clean shot.
Oh, Sheldon keep his head moving to get out of the way of that straight right. That's where Sheldon wants to be, though, bringing that pressure on the inside.
That's right.
We've seen a lot of that tonight. A lot of contrasts in height and styles. You know, longer, lankier boxers and shorter pressure boxers. Oh,
there's that
Sheldon
shot. There's the shot.
Landed a big left hook there. Nice combination. That's what he needs to do, is throw with combinations.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Those shots.
Straight right, left hook. Nice combination.
It's taking every will of my being not to start yelling right now.
I think everybody can understand. You've got a friend in there, someone that you care about, you want to see him do well.
I think that's one thing that you forget about too. Like you've been in there enough, you sometimes forget that there's people on the outside watching that maybe are experiencing more nerves than you are.
Oh yeah, friends, family members, loved ones. You know, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt in there. You know. Better round for Sheldon, but Dustin did a really good job in that first round. So
if you take a look at some of the highlights here, you will notice on Dustin's stance that he's going to be the tough guy to knock down with those clean shots.
Yeah, he's got a nice stable stance. He's not crossing his feet. You know, Sheldon, that can be the challenge to get in on that taller fighter, because you do have to leap in. You have to push in off the back foot, but you need to do it on balance and without crossing your feet.
Yeah. There were a couple moments in that fight that Sheldon even, I think, inadvertently switched to southpaw just because his feet were a little bit too close together, and he's just kind of finding his bearings.
And Sheldon just needs to be on the inside, you know, of those ropes, not on the outside, so he can put that pressure. Again, those stance problems are really allowing Dustin to push him around in there. I'd like to see Sheldon use that left hook and right uppercut more as well, because Dustin's coming underneath and there's an opening there for the uppercut. Right there, as soon as he comes down underneath it, big hard uppercut. I think he'll find some success with it, but if he stays with the hooks, well, he's landing them now. Oh, nice comeback. He's fired up here. Oh,
there. In this third round, it's very important to just
another big right hand. That one hurt him. Well, he got his legs back. He was wobbled by that one, though.
There you go. It's a really big mental game. It's like this third round, a lot of what you're trying to do is just not leave anything else. It's really at this point about having no regrets.
Yeah, will, heart, calculate when you're throwing that combination, but he's got to bring the pressure if he wants to pull this off.
Last 10 seconds to fight. There we go. You can see Sheldon bleeding from the nose.
Bleeding from the nose.
Still moving forward, though.
Well, got to give both these fighters credit in this match. They brought it. They gave everything they had. We look at
take a look at some of the highlights from that round.
Good exchange of blows here, but just that balance, just having a hard time staying powerful in his stance. Blue corner there. Sheldon's just a little bit off balance, not allowing him to throw those combinations as good as he could. But he had some good success, but I don't know if it was enough. He'll be sporting a nice shiner at work.
Yeah, that's right. It's his trophy.
Another great job by both competitors. No shame, no, you know, these guys need to hold their heads high. They put on a great show, a great performance.
And very important to note that neither of them gave up. All 3 rounds, they just kept moving forward. They kept doing their thing.
Yeah. Well, I got to say the red corner has made a significant comeback. They started out down 2. This puts them up 5 matches to 3 for the blue team.
All right, fight number 8, Elysia Allen, age 34, coming out of the blue corner, is an HR administrator for the Canadian Armed Forces. I love one of the things that she wrote in this, because we were talking about that sweet science earlier, and she even mentions it herself in her bio that boxing is more than just being physical and throwing punches. It's a real challenge is overcoming your nerves and keeping that mental toughness during the fight.
It is, and you know what? It's a great skill set to have. That translates into life experience, being able to control nerves, being able to control stress, and perform under those conditions. I think I think that's one thing that this sport is so great for, that it allows you to have that ability to translate that stress and pressure and overcome that in other aspects of your life. Because if you can do this, there's not much else that should scare you. If you can get up and fight in front of a crowd like this, you know, any task after that is nowhere near as daunting.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that these fighters are really going to learn about themselves, is after they step out of that ring, they're going to be looking at the world in a little bit of a different light. You know, things are going to be going to seem attainable. Things are going to, you know, seem like, you know, you'll be able to feel like you can do a lot. If you can do this, you can definitely do a lot.
Elysia stepped into the ring here, standing 6 feet, weighing 188 pounds, 34 years of age. Her opponent, 5'6", 181 pounds, Amy Mahar, 35. So Elysia will have a significant reach advantage. We've seen a lot of this fight so far, this card so far. A lot of reach advantages, lots of contrasts of styles between, you know, technically really a long, lanky boxer trying to use range versus a shorter pressure boxing. You know, we've seen a lot of these matches, these type of matches so far. So I look forward to seeing the contrast of styles again.
Amy Mahar, coming out of the red corner, age 35, is a C logistics officer, has a BSc in psychology and chemistry.
We'll see if she can put that psychology to work here tonight.
That's right.
Age 35, weighing 181 pounds, standing 5'6", Amy Mahar. Elysia looking very relaxed in her corner.
Now, when you see them come together like this, you can really see the height difference between Elysia and Amy.
Big difference on that frame. 6 inches. Again, the story of the night so far has been pressure boxing versus long punching.
That's right. Yeah, you haven't ever really seen the shorter fighter deterred that much throughout the night.
Oh, she's bringing the pressure. Taking some tips from her teammate Shemine, bringing the pressure.
And credit to Amy, she's really able to look for the openings both high and low.
Those long arms can work against you on the inside. Again, it takes so much stamina to be able to sustain that kind of pressure. You know, when that pressure boxer is coming in, it's so important that you can move back and maintain your distance so you can get your punches going. You need space to throw those punches, and you can't do it on the ropes. You need to do it from the center of the ring. That's why the footwork is so crucial in this sport.
Well, I've noticed Elysia too, she's faded back from some of these punches coming in, but her feet are not moving. She's not really capitalizing on that space she's just given herself.
I see where Amy gets the nickname Mad Dog. I can see it in the style.
She's moving forward. She's
I got to give Amy credit that reach. She committed to getting in on the inside and throwing a lot of punches, and she nullified that reach of Elysia.
Yeah.
Good game plan, good pressure, good execution, and I think that's enough to give her that round.
We're going to see some of this pressure that Amy's been keeping up in this first round on the replay here.
Constant pressure in her face, keeping her on her heels, not allowing her to use that range.
One of the things that Elysia noted that she was most nervous about is not getting knocked out in the first 30 seconds. So here's one thing she's accomplished. Got through that first round.
Tick that one off, yeah. We can see Bailey, we know she's telling her to stick with that same game plan because I think it worked well for her. Elysia's got to be able to
She's really fighting the style. I noticed that she's really fighting that aggressive style that Bailey herself has as a fighter. Bailey's always typically been the smaller fighter when she was a boxer, an amateur boxer. And is very aggressive when she's in that ring.
Yeah, she's doing a good job of trying to commit to just smothering that taller opponent, staying in her face. But again, when we talk about the level of fitness that you need to pressure box, we'll see if she can sustain that for this whole match.
That is a lot of cardio. You can see Elysia like really trying to use that straight jab.
Elysia switched her stance here. Oh, switch back to right-handed. And this is right where Amy wants her. Lots of pressure on the ropes.
Amy's doing a really good job of cutting the ring off as well.
Mixing up to the body and the head. Elysia just can't seem to get her space to get those straight punches in there.
30 seconds, top smash.
Final 10 seconds here. Again, constant pressure from the Mad Dog.
Notice the head movement on Elysia is really good. It's just, unfortunately, just not following it up with her feet.
Yeah, yeah. She just can't get those punches off and just smothered. It's so frustrating when you have someone that is able to bring that amount of pressure. Elysia throwing some punches here. You can see here she had her space, but then once Amy steps in.
Seeing that, she switched to southpaw for a split second there as well. You can tell Cashy's probably told her just to keep your space, try that jab, try those straight shots.
But she's got to move back. She's not taking that step back to be able to get her space. She's relied on pushing, and the path of least resistance is, to me, is the easier way to go. Push off the lead leg, take a step back, create the space, and let the shorter opponent walk into your punches and circle back to the center.
Yeah.
But that takes years of practice to be able to do that.
Yeah, to do what these guys are doing in 8 weeks of training, this is all very impressive.
Yeah. Oh, nice jab from Elysia. Nice right hand to there. She's starting to find a little bit of her range, but again, Amy's come back inside. She really needs to use that range.
Well, and also Amy, as a shorter fighter, she's still doing a good job of, even if she's catching a few of those shots, still moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. And that is key to get inside. Just keep moving forward, keep moving your head.
It's that old Rocky quote, no matter how hard you get hit, like if you keep moving forward.
Elysia has been able to find some space this round. She's finally taking that step back. But just constant pressure from Amy.
You can hear Amy's corner calling out those 1-2-1 shots. This is definitely the strategy. You just keep that pressure up with those combos.
Not quite pushing off the back leg with the amount of force that she had in the earlier rounds. You can see the fatigue of all the pressure in those earlier rounds are starting to take its toll, but she's in this fight and she's bringing mad pressure. I see why she's called the Mad Dog. Just non-stop moving forward pressure. It's hard to deal with. She's done a good job of just smothering her and bringing tons of pressure. Another great fight, very exciting.
You can really tell with all of these fights that have happened so far, the 8 weeks of training have really paid off for these fighters.
And Elysia was able to land a couple straight punches here from the distance, as we see in the replay, but then Amy coming inside and stepping off that back leg and throwing those pressure smothering punches from the inside. We're seeing, some of the inexperience that we see these athletes resorting to pushing, which is a very ineffective way to get your space back, because first of all, you expose yourself by pushing. The right thing to do offensively is take a step back. That person's arms are extended. Then you get clean shots in there. The pushing is not a very effective strategy. It's much better to push with your body than it is with your hands.
It also expends a lot of energy to try to push them back.
As we wait for the announcement here, we can see the excitement on both of them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision from your judges. Fighting out of the red corner,
game plan, good execution, brought the pressure, nullified that reach. That could have been a huge factor if she didn't commit to moving forward and smothering her opponent. So credit to the camp for doing what they needed to do. Credit to Amy for doing what she needed to do and bringing that kind of constant pressure to get this victory, because she was in a, she gave up 6 inches. That's a lot of reach. But only if it's used properly.
Exactly. So our first fighter coming out of the blue corner, Jett Carey, age 19. I love this, what he said. He's like, he's a nursing student, and he said he's always wanted to get beat up for charity. Well, he's not forgetting what he's doing this for.
Such an honorable man.
Yeah, exactly.
19 years of age, 193 pounds, 6 feet tall. He's a big boy. You know, this weight category, we generally see quite a bit of power. So I think we're going to hear some thud in this fight.
That's right. He's also already overcome one of his biggest things that he was nervous about, was tripping during the walkout. Didn't do that. He's set. He's ready for this fight. We're seeing his walkout right now. Haden Campbell, age 25, is a realtor for the Victoria condo group. For the condo group in Victoria here. And he was saying to see, like, one of the things he's nervous about is to see how much his nerves and atmosphere affect the conditioning and focus.
Well, we can see he's got a lot of support here. We look around and see this crowd. There's a lot of people cheering for him. There's a lot of people standing up. And yeah, that can be a big contributing factor, and that can bring out the best in you, or that can sap your energy. It all depends on your perspective, your outlook, your ability to handle that.
And the atmosphere that Fight for the Cause provides for these very first-time fighters is definitely one of a kind. To have a black tie event, you're coming out with a smoke machine, lights, video screens, all sorts of things happening. That can create nerves. We're going to see how this affects these guys.
Nerves and distraction. It's so important to remain focused on your skills and your techniques and what you're supposed to do. You know, if you're looking around and looking at the crowd and waving at your buddies in the audience, you know, it's a real distraction. And you know, I'm a big believer in just being able to be in the zone and just tune all that out and come in and perform. And that's where fighting at home could be a distraction, but this is a distraction for everybody because everybody's fighting at home on this card. So again, we've mentioned it many times, with the pressure, it sucks energy out of you.
And you can see the massive crowd across the ring from us, right?
Jett's carrying that chin right up in the air, but I mean, he's moving his head well, which is great, but again, those hands are down, that chin is up, and you know, he's got good reflexes though, and good head movement, but he needs to keep those hands up. But again, really committed to moving his head, which is, you know, gonna slightly compensate for him holding his hands down.
Great head movement.
Haden should, you know, really start to work the body more instead of headhunt. Oh, he's landed that clean shot right there. Jett is paying for holding those hands down. He's got to keep those hands down and protect the head. You know?
Like, a lot of times your coaches are telling you to be small, to be a small target.
Yeah.
One thing that you don't really realize is that you become a big target when your head is back and your chin is exposed like that.
And it is exposed, and he paid the price for it. Haden has done a good job of cutting off the ring and putting the pressure on him. And again, with that chin up in the air like that, it's all the head movement in the world is not going to get you away from those punches if you don't have your hands protecting your head. Oh, nice right hand by Jett.
Yeah, Jett's coming back a little bit here.
Another big right hand.
Oh, there it is.
Very fast pace for the first round. These guys came out. They are putting on a show tonight.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this pace up. So you can see that head movement really working well for Jett, but then sometimes, you know, that flurry is coming with Haden. He's getting caught.
You gotta bring your hands with your head while you move it, or you will pay the price. It might take a while, but eventually, and there it was. We'll see if his corner can help him out, get him to keep those hands, keep those hands up and break that bad habit of lifting that chin and holding those hands down so low, because as we can see here in the replay, he's paying the price for it. Just landing clean flush shots. You can take a much better punch off of your forehead. It's very, you know, the thickest part of your skull. If you're going to take one, you want to take it on the forehead, not on the chin.
Yeah, the chin is sometimes like the off button.
In the red corner, doing a good job of cutting off the ring and bringing the pressure. Now, the first guy we've really seen tonight do a good job of actually cutting off the ring instead of following.
Yeah, for most of the night, that middle of the ring has been his.
And again, cut it off the ring and scoring blows.
Still noticing Jett pick his head up.
Yeah, I mean, he's game. He's come to fight, but just number one rule: protect your head. Protect your head in this sport. You have to protect your head. That's your processing center here.
Yeah.
You know, you can't tell your body what to do if your brain is rocked. And you have to protect yourself. This sport is about hitting and not getting hit, not trading. He's got to keep those hands up and tuck that chin. Oh, nice big right hand from Jett. Oh, but again, just not bringing the hands back to the head, and the head movement is now slowed down.
Yeah, fatigue is really starting to set in. Hands are not coming back to the head. His chin is still way up there.
Doing a good job of throwing that right hand to the body and to the head. I mean, maybe he could slow Haden down a little bit here if he stays on that body punching, but again, he's got to get those hands up. Just taking flush shots. Jett has got to move here. He's tired. He's got to move. No, these are 198-pound guys. These guys got a lot of power behind those shots. You do not want to be taking these punches. You need to be moving. Moving your head and protecting your head. Very exciting round.
That is a great
those guys brought it that round. Wow.
You can definitely tell that Haden brought the crowd out tonight.
Yep. We look at the replay here. Unfortunately, we just see those hands so low and that chin up so high, taking flush shots. The ref came in and gives an 8 count there. No quitting, Jett. He's game. He's doing everything he can, but if he doesn't start protecting himself in there, this is not going to end well for him. He needs to make that adjustment. Good job going back to the body. Good way to slow him down. Nice straight right, and again. you know, he's getting his punches off first. He's found his range. Again with that big body shot.
There, he's starting to connect.
He's come out much more composed this round. Crowd is on their feet for this one.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the loudest fights of the night.
Both fighters trying to catch their breath. Couple big deep breaths, and here they go again. Both of them been able to throw nice straight punches from straight range, from long range here.
This is the point of the fight where it really picks up. You don't want to leave anything in the ring.
Fatigue is setting in on these guys. They've given so much this fight. Digging deep, last 10 seconds here. Who wants this? Who wants this? Excellent fight.
Oh.
Crowd is on their feet here. So the red corner here. You look. These guys gave everything tonight. Good job. Again, gotta give.
Yeah, you gotta give it to Jett in that third round. Really started to pick it up. Unfortunately, Haden also didn't give up.
Yeah.
And he was the aggressor, it seemed like, the whole fight.
Yeah, Jett made a decent adjustment in the third round to his style and his range, but I just don't think it was enough. You know, I gotta say, for all the punches on those two landed on each other, they look pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
Split decision. Jett came back in that third round, but just not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. You know, just number one thing in this sport, hands up, chin down. You know, if you don't protect that head, you are gonna pay. And I gotta give him credit for his toughness, because he took quite a few blows and managed to sustain it and took it and fight. And no quit.
No quit on both these guys,
Yeah.
and a huge credit to Jett. Coming back in that third round, he's not going to leave here with any regrets.
No. Big smiles on both their faces as they walk out into the crowd.
So part of Kai's background, 18 years old, he's a post-secondary student studying geography. He's in school and he has a job where he works till past 12:30 a.m. Putting all of that together with 8 weeks of training early in the morning after coming home at like 12:30 a.m. That must have been a tough venture for him.
Yeah, your sleep is very important. You're so tired when you're training hard. You need that sleep, plus going to school, so good on him for balancing that, balancing the training, balancing the education, and now here he comes to come in here and fight and you know, put this match on for a charity event. So again, good for him, and he's going to have his hands full with his opponent coming out here.
Doug Evans, age 25 from the red team, is another one of those contenders who had a friend previously fight in Fight for the Cause, and he watched him and he kind of got inspired to try to do that himself. It's another great thing because these guys they're young guys, and like you were saying before, you come in, you do this thing, and it's a really huge challenge, and after you've done it, it feels like there's nothing that you can't accomplish. So to see some of these young guys come in and do that, that's a great start for them. You know?
Oh, yeah. Great challenge, for sure. And to be able to conquer the nerves in front of this hometown crowd, perform, very inspiring. Both of them looking very focused.
For some of these the contenders, like sparring during contender camp was really the first time they've ever thrown a punch. And some contenders, they have that, they can hop right in and feel right at home in the ring. Others have that deer in the headlight kind of look when they get in the ring for the first time and throw a punch at a moving target, at a person that's throwing back at them. What kind of advice do you offer to fighters as a coach when you get into the ring?
Well, for these guys at this level, I mean, they're still so new. I mean, 8 weeks is nothing for a training camp. Nothing. I mean, we're talking about from scratch, from never boxing, right? So, these guys have so many things to learn. But right now we're seeing, Kai protect himself well, moving his head. I mean, he's being overwhelmed with punches, but not that many of them are clean. And these guys have a fast pace, though.
Looks like a rivalry going on, too, right when they came out.
These guys came to fight.
Kai,
big right hand big left hand by Kai. We got the southpaw there.
And that is one of the first southpaw
I think this is the
orthodox
first true southpaw we've seen tonight.
Now, part of the strategy for a southpaw is to try to keep your foot to the outside and to try to stay to where he can't, your opponent can't punch you with his power hand.
Yeah, you want to angle away from that left hand if you can. As when the right-handed and left-handed fighter fight each other, they're both lined up with each other's crosses, so you see a lot of big crosses right down the middle. So yeah, the foot on the outside gets a better angle for the person who has that to be able to use to get away from the opponent's cross. Kai drew him in with that taunt.
It's quite the rivalry here. Right at the beginning.
Again with the big left hand. I'm always a fan of southpaws. I'm a southpaw myself, and it can be a challenge to deal with figuring out how to get out of the way of that left hand, because as a right-handed fighter, again with that left hand, as a right-handed fighter, you spend so much time sparring against right-handed fighters. You don't get a lot of sparring with a southpaw.
That's right.
So if you have a southpaw in your gym, that is so valuable to give you that looks and to try to figure out how to crack that code, because it's a different style. It's a different angle. It's a completely different science on how to box, and they can throw you off. And I think that was a good round for Kai. I mean, Doug started very strong and put a lot of pressure on and threw a lot of punches, but I think Kai did a good job of really blocking and moving his head and then weathering that storm and then landing a lot of clean blows. And here we see those flurries from Kai, but moving his head and punching and scoring, and that big left hand right down the pipe.
That got him dazed, sure. And Kai has a bit of an advantage here with a coach. His coach Cassius is also a left-handed fighter. Kind of knows how to work those angles. Usually when you see a left-handed fighter in the ring, you hear from his corner to throw the instructions to throw that cross first, and then you get with a hook to that cross and then a hook combination.
Left on right, right on left, they can both pretty much use their cross as a jab. It's, as they're so lined up with it. Oh, again with that. Yeah. And he's timing it well, and he's using his range well. Oh, wow. Biggest punch of the fight so far.
Really knocked his head down.
Got to give Doug credit. He took that well.
Seems like he's able to, there you go. Doug was coming back. Seems like Kyle was able to sneak some of those straight shots, some of those left hands in a different angle. The other advantage of getting your foot onto the outside and throwing that straight cross for a left-handed or a right-handed fighter is you're kind of getting that cross a little bit closer and your head off the line. So you're protecting yourself as well.
You know, you always hear boxing's about angles. It's about angles. You know, it really, truly is, because the body mechanics have a power zone, and if you can get outside of that power zone and attack the flank where they're in yours and you're out of theirs, you have a huge mechanical advantage. And it's very apparent when we see left on right, and we see Kai. Took that angle and punished him for it.
Kai is capitalizing on that.
For it. But we got to give Doug full credit. He is in this fight. He is not giving up. He's taking some hard shots, but he's taking everything that Kai is throwing at him and weathering the storm and coming back. There is no quit. He's not hurt. He's still coming. He's still fighting. He's in this fight.
Credit to Doug for being one tough cookie. That flurry could have put any man down.
Kai knows he's doing well, raising his hands in that fight, but he's still got one more round left.
Anything can happen.
Again with that big left hand. It's just story of this fight for Kai. You know, that's one of the biggest weapons you got to watch out for against that southpaw.
That left hand with your foot on the outside.
And he's doing a good job of mixing up his attacks, you know, body, head, changing angles. He's not staying square with him, but we see in the replay, Doug still coming back. You know, weathering that storm.
Yeah.
But
footwork does seem to be key when you get a left-handed fighter versus an orthodox fighter.
All right, here we go, third and final round.
Kai's doing a really good job of controlling the direction of the fight. Staying to the right, staying to the outside foot, making sure that Doug can't get his power hand on him.
Yeah. Oh, again, he cuts that angle.
Yeah.
This is where Doug needs to be. Pressuring Kai on the ropes to take those footworks, take those angles away, but just can't seem to cut him off and keep him there.
Yeah. Cardio is also king then too, right? When you get him in the corner like that. Oh, those straight shots are working for him.
Yeah, Doug's landed some good shots here. Big flurry. Kai's doing a good job of moving his head, but
Kai got out of it.
These guys are throwing a lot of punches, digging so deep right now. Kai's taking this deep breath, trying to recover, get some air here. A lot of support in this crowd from both these fighters.
Right. Credit to both these fighters. This round seems to be going back and forth here. There you go.
Great job. Another great fight put on by these athletes here.
I love seeing a fight go right to the end with fists flying. That's always such a good show of heart during any fight.
Again, here we see Doug staying very busy trying to, I think he knows he's behind in this third round and doing everything he can to try to squeak this round out. Great exchange on both parts there.
And make a pledge for your favorite fighter tonight. All the money raised, of course, going to these incredible charities that we are here supporting.
Kai had the head movement working for him, but then Doug just kept pushing forward.
Well, this one's going to the scorecards here. Find out who our winner was, but you know, I think Kai just had such success in the first 2 rounds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision from the judges. Your winner, fighting out of the blue corner,
That southpaw, it's a hard code to crack, and trying to figure that out in 8 weeks is a challenge.
That is quite the challenge. So credit to Doug for trying to overcome that. That was such a huge challenge.
Yeah, he put up a great fight. No shame in that performance. That was an inspiring performance. He came back as the best that he could in the 3rd round. I thought he won the 3rd round. Big heart on him. Did everything he could to try to take that fight back, but just Kai, the first 2 rounds, just I think sealed it.
So Matt Bennidict, age 23, is another athlete pursuing a professional lacrosse career. One of the things to note about Matt is that he actually was asked to take this fight kind of at the last minute. One of the blue team fighters had to drop out, I believe, due to an injury. And it's one of those things that kind of factors into your training, because you might not get the full 8 weeks, or even if you're with them for that beginning of the training camp, you're not in that mental space to prep for a fight up until like a couple of weeks before your fight.
It's true, but lacrosse is a very physical sport, very demanding sport. You know, we'll see how that athleticism of being a high-level lacrosse player will translate into boxing. You know, it's very physical. It's a very tiring sport. You know, you got to be durable to play lacrosse. You know, we don't know how much technique they could teach into him in that short amount of time that they had with him. So, you know, we'll see if he knows how to defend himself and how to throw proper punches and stay on balance.
MacKinnon, age 27, fighting out of the red corner. He had a little bit of an emotional kind of up and down. Where right at the beginning of the fight, he lost his grandfather. His grandfather passed away. You know, that really kind of, you know, affects your mentality when you're getting into training camp. But he's always up for a challenge. You know, he wanted to learn more, give more awareness to the charities. So his heart is definitely in the right place when participating in Fight for the Cause.
Yeah, those types of adversity can be very challenging to deal with, you know, in a training camp, because you need to spend time with family and loved ones and take time away from training and stay mentally focused and continue to make your physical and technical gains. You know, life can definitely throw you some curveballs while you're preparing for, you know, for this sport. We'll see what kind of balance he was able to you know, maintain throughout that adversity.
When we asked them what they're most nervous about in the fight, Curtis had said that he had nightmares about either forgetting everything or accidentally missing his fight. You know, those kind of things can happen just because it's such a stressful thing to prepare for. You know,
your mind is so clouded with adrenaline. It's so hard to think through that adrenaline, you know, and maintain composure and intelligence and box intelligently, because this is a very technical sport. You know, it's the sweet science.
Curtis not wasting any time, getting right to the middle of the ring at the beginning.
Getting warned for hitting and holding at the same time. both of them have come out in pretty strong stances. It's good to see.
Like I said, that wide stance can really help you. If you get hit by a hard, clean shot and you don't go down, it's usually 9 times out of 10 because of that wide stance.
Curtis is starting to raise his head up a little bit, and as he's throwing his punches, he needs to keep those hands up. He's not getting hit, but
seems like a symptom of trying to find that angle to sneak those punches in.
Seems like Matt's just kind of waiting, biding his time here, waiting for the opening. You can't wait too long. He's getting out-hustled here right now, and we've seen that with a big part of this amateur style of scoring system. It's really about the hustle. It's about the volume of punches. It's not like pro boxing where they're scoring the effective, damaging blows. They're scoring the volume. The red corner here with a big flurry and a lot of pressure and clean shots.
Curtis is almost forcing Matt to put his head down where he's able to get him with a pretty clean uppercut.
Well, Matt is going to have to come back with more volume of punches because it's just not enough. Unless he's got something up his sleeve that we don't know, wants to take this into the later rounds. Because with amateur boxing, we really do see the volume take play a major factor in the scoring. It's not about the damaging or effective blows, it's about the volume.
So you can really see, notice his hands are down, kind of trying to snake that different angle in. That could hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, it's Matt. There's openings there for Matt, but he's just just can't seem to let his hands go, whether that's a mental thing or a strategy. You know, maybe he's letting him punch himself out and wants to bring it on, or maybe he was just overwhelmed with the pressure, but he's got to let his hands go. But again, we're seeing the pressure boxing from the shorter fighter here. Matt's using a little more footwork and range this time to establish his straight punches, which is a much better strategy for him. But it's these times when he's getting caught on the ropes that he'll get in trouble. This is where he needs to move. Establish those long punches.
Yeah, there it is. There's those moments where he has the ability to keep his distance, to have those long punches, but then it just sort of backs off a little bit, and Curtis is able to make up that difference.
And with this short training camp, it's really hard to teach these guys how to box on the inside and what to do with their bodies on the inside. It's just not enough time.
No, 8 weeks of training is really enough to make sure they've got enough cardio in the ring. But usually for these training camps, wow.
Big hook.
Usually for these training camps, they don't usually get to start sparring until a couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah. And Curtis is one determined fighter, just constant pressure. But Matt is throwing much more punches this round, which is, big hard right hand by Curtis. One thing we notice in these beginner type of fights is they haven't established power in both hands. They're usually really favoring their, rear hand, their trail hand, their cross or their right hook, or, we're seeing a lot of what I would call an imbalance of power from the from the trail hand.
You can probably see it here in some of these replays as well.
Big right hands, not a lot on the left hooks. It's all coming from the rear hand where there's, just not enough time to train the body how to throw those lead hooks hard and those lead uppercuts hard. And really put the snap on the jab. So it's kind of been one of the themes of the night that we've seen a lot of just loading up the right hands, loading up the crosses, loading up the right hooks. And if guys don't have a effective jab, where it's coming back defensively, they're going to get hit a lot by those power punches from the rear hand. Oh, big uppercut.
Huge uppercut.
Big uppercut. Oh, big body shots.
Curtis's shots are really having an effect on Matt here.
Not trying to get that range back, trying to land those straight punches and move, but so much pressure from Curtis. He's so committed to being in there in the pocket and throwing those flurries. Crowd very focal in this fight. Victoria fight fans are getting their money's worth tonight.
Yeah, we found
big right hand. I think that's his best punch of the fight.
I think throughout the night there hasn't been an unentertaining fight in this card.
That's true. Final 10 seconds here.
It's another one of those fights that come to an energetic ending. That's the ones you want to see.
Awesome fight.
And then you can see it in their faces. When they end with that giant hug, they're both very proud of themselves. And you can see it in here too, that third round.
Oh, there's
really
that
picking up the energy.
Big uppercut. Matt had full respect to Matt for continuing through that. He was wobbled, but came right through it, worked through it, took a lap around the ring and came back. You see there's that big right hand that he landed.
And then this is the last moments of the fight where this kind of ending and on a high note, and then that pride, that hug between the two of them, knowing that they both did something very spectacular.
Oh, they put on a great show here tonight. Great performance. But again, so much of your power comes from your stance. And if they can stay tighter in those stances, stay seated down, sitting down in that stance, on balance. Just too much pressure from Curtis for Matt to be able to handle. But another excellent fight. And much respect to these athletes for doing this and all the support that they've provided for Victoria's local charities.
Well, we had a chance to chat with Lisa Boylan, age 27 off the blue team. We got a chance to chat with her in the weigh-ins this morning. She seems very composed. She seems very ready. Always loves a good challenge. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do tonight.
Well, if you can make a stereotype about Irish fighters, they have heart. I'll tell you.
They do.
They have heart. Very good reputation for, well, I mean, as we could note, Conor McGregor, we see what he's done.
So these moments right here, when you're just waiting for your moment to enter the ring, walk that red carpet, sometimes that's when your heart's pounding the most.
Just the anticipation, just waiting. That's the worst part, the waiting. The fighting is the easy part.
Yeah.
Training is, for me, training was easy, fighting was easy. It's just the waiting.
That's what I was saying to some of these fighters this morning during weigh-ins. It's like sometimes the most excruciating part is what are you going to do with the next 5 to 6 hours before you got to get into the ring?
138 pounds, standing 5 feet 6 inches. 24 years old, is sponsored by Anytime Fitness Trainers, Chelsea, the Hurricane, Sperling.
Now, I am looking forward to seeing Chelsea Sperling. One of the reasons being is because her brother, Colin, fought Fight for the Cause twice, and both of the times were in my years, so we were teammates together.
Oh,
so
cool.
Chelsea's kind of family now, I guess, eh? But it's really cool to see, again, when you have somebody like a family or a friend who's done this before, and then they encourage you, and then it just kind of builds from there.
Well, the bonds that we see that are, formed from this process of the training camp and the competition, I mean, this is the 6th year this is done, I believe?
Yeah.
You know, we've seen so many people that 6 years later, they're still friends. You know, they're still coming out and supporting these events.
And I'd like to think, too, that's a testament to the city we live in, Victoria, because like you even see it with some of these pro fighters. We see it with guys like Adam Braidwood, with Sarah Kaufman, with Ryan Jans. They're all really wanting to give back to the community. They're all really good friends. There's like a network of fighters, including yourself, Jason.
We are definitely blessed to live where we are. There's a tremendous amount of compassion and empathy in this community here, and we see that trickled all the way down to the fight community, and see the wonderful things that the fight community does to contribute to this city. It's a pretty special place to be, and there's a lot of incredible people around it. And we've got to give credit to the promoters of this event, Darcy and Kevin. You know, they've done a fantastic job with putting this event on and building a huge following.
And I love it. From Studio 4 Athletics, that's where all of the contenders do their boot camp. But again, like to Darcy and Kevin's credit, they create this network where they have guys like Cassius from Merge Combat and Fitness coming in to help and to support.
Oh, walked right into that one.
Oh, so far, really quick pace start to this fight.
We're seeing Lisa carry that head pretty high, and that's just such a vulnerability in this sport because easy to get hit and your axis and balance gets knocked off when your head is in that position. You get pushed back, put onto your heels, and just not in a position to throw with power. And it's clear that they score. When that head snaps back, all the judges see it. Oh, a big right hand landed from the red. Chelsea's doing a pretty good job here of moving her feet and throwing her punches. And when she commits, she's letting her hands go. She's setting them up well. And Lisa, with not enough head movement, carrying that chin too high is.
Oh, we got a mouth guard out.
Mouth guard comes out. That mouth guard a rinse.
See, as the mouth guard's coming in, Adam Braidwood over to my left, kind of calling Chelsea down, reminding her, you're doing a great job, keep the pressure up, but take that breather and relax.
lot of action in this round here. Final 10 seconds of the round here.
One of the things that Chelsea noted was during the training process, you know, she really felt the mental aspect, felt every kind of emotion during the process, the stress, the fear, the excitement, and the nerves. That really factors into, you know, when you're training. And
you can just see that chin up from Lisa when she gets hit. Head snaps back, the axis goes off, the power isn't there through the legs. She's on her heels, and that's just, you just can't get your power from there. And, you know, that being pushed backwards there with that axis off is, you know, it's just a fundamental error, and it's so hard to deal with. And, you know, Chelsea has done a good job of finding success with that and sticking to it. So we'll see if, you know, the blue corner can come out and try to fix that error with her stance and get her back to where she's in a position where she can throw with power. You see the fans for Trish here. Nice jab.
There's
nice
some really
jab,
good
ladies.
controlling jabs.
Lisa's found good range with that jab. A little more patient now, picking her shots. Big right hand down the pipe and reestablished her range. Much better job so far this round. Settled down.
Yeah.
Using that jab well. Oh, big right hand. Lisa's really changed her style from the first round to the second round. Really composed herself a lot better. More patient, better range, and moving.
Yeah, she's moving really well. Those flurries, Chelsea wants to throw those flurries at her. Lisa's really not letting it happen. She's keeping composed. Her eyes are open.
Starting to see
focused.
Quite a bit of blood start to come from the nose out of Chelsea. And this is where Chelsea seemed to fare better. So, you know, with that pressure and in that mid-range.
She's kind of using that height to her advantage. Almost those punches almost seem like they're coming over top of Lisa.
Lisa much more patient this round, much more disciplined on her footwork and range. Another exciting round.
When we look back at the replay here, you're going to notice a little bit of a change in Lisa's style, a little bit of a change in her composure. Able to see some of these flurries coming and move back, keep her eyes open.
Patience is so important. Picking and choosing your shots instead of wailing, you know. She did a much better job of keeping her composure and using her technique, but Chelsea put on a lot of pressure when she needed to as well. So, you know, this is you know, in my opinion, that's another challenging round for the judges. We go into our third and final round. I think this one is wide open for whoever wants this fight.
That's right.
Got it.
The one thing I find that Chelsea's really capitalizing on is Lisa's tendency to kind of move and angle herself back when the offensive is coming to her.
Yeah, she's found her success when she does it. If she stands still and gets put on her heels, and that's where Chelsea's done well, is when she just commits to moving forward and, you know, landing the series of blows with just that commitment to it. That big right hand.
See the fatigue really setting in on both fighters.
Chin up in the air, that just pushes her right back onto her heels, and
it's like the only thing stopping her from falling down on her back is the corner, really.
And it's not from her being hurt. It's just the body mechanics pushed off balance.
Yeah, just her tilting. It's just good.
Oh, great round by both of them. Oh, what a big shot!
Ended with a huge shot at the bell.
Finalize that round. Another incredible fight here. I'm going to stay away from the judging on this one. I don't know.
Pretty tough one to call.
Close fight. There we see the replay. Again, that poor access and balance has put Lisa in trouble where she just can't continue to throw powerful blows. She needs to take that step back, which she does, and finds better success when she does that.
Again, it could be a symptom of just trying to widen that stance. You know, if you have that stance, if your feet are a little bit too close together, that's going to force you to move back. That's going to angle you back where you're basically tilting over.
You know, and there's a theory that I think is pretty relevant, that headgear actually makes you get hit more because, you know, you have that pad in front of your forehead, and when your chin is down, your vision is obstructed, and as you lift it, that's out of the way. So, you know, sometimes that headgear makes you lift your chin, you know, so you can't see. Decision win for the red corner. Just more volume, more precise punches, and I think the better body mechanics just allowed for her to score more clean blows. But a great performance.
Yeah, credit to both these fighters. So Jennifer Sallows, age 25. She's a chartered professional accountant and assistant controller at Carmana Technologies. One of the most challenging aspects that she listed of her training was all the extras that came with it, including meal prep, all the amounts of laundry, which is not the first time I've heard that from, you know, that you got to do. Epsom salt baths, a sacrifice of time with friends and family. There's a lot of things that you go through in the 8 weeks of training.
Yeah, the meal prep and laundry, you need to eat clean. You have to. You can't train properly and eat garbage. You'll pay for it. That meal prep takes time. The amount of sweat that is dripping off your body in a workout. Everything's going into the laundry. That's a lot of extra loads of laundry, I'll tell you that.
Well, working out 5 days a week, yeah, it's a crazy amount of laundry.
It's time consuming.
Keira Ng, age 29, on the red team. She's always kind of been a big supporter of the Fight for the Cause event. She also worked with Help Fill a Dream on a charity gala. They're the ones that really encouraged her to participate, to kind of push her boundaries as a person and take part in this charity boxing event. Yeah,
Keira, very, very well known around the city of Victoria. There's going to be a lot of people here to Excited to watch her compete. I know she's trained hard. I know she's really committed herself to this training camp. I know she's very excited to finally get in here and do it. It's been a long time waiting. And we're all very excited to see this matchup.
Oh, yeah. You know, during the final weeks of training camp, like, contenders are really taught to, like, the importance of sort of visualizing this night, visualizing the fight. Why is that technique really important for your fight?
Focus. Focus is so important. I don't care what sport you play, what sport you do. Focus. If you're distracted, you know, you can't perform anywhere near the capacity that you could. So the visualization, I'm a big believer in goal setting. I'm a big believer in visualization because it's practice. It's practice when you don't have time to practice. And again, you see that sometimes that instinct to turn your head when those punches come. There you go. Keira's getting off on that 1-2. Keira's corner, Adam Braidwood trying to get Keira to settle down, which is good. Just pick and choose your shots. Make sure the range is right.
Yeah, when the adrenaline really gets you going and you really just want to keep moving forward and keep those shots coming, sometimes it can start to come from weird angles. You start to drop your hands, you start to make mistakes. So it's the job of the coaches to just remind you, calm down, keep your composure.
And for first-time fighters, we've seen a really good display of composure. Fighting in this kind of crowd, this kind of environment, hometown, on television, first fight. Keira's looking for that uppercut. Yeah. A nice job by following it with the hook. You know, if you throw the uppercut and it's protected, you know, and you follow with the hook, you should find a connection with the hook afterwards. So it's a nice combination for her to work, but you know, she's pulling her right hand a little bit far back when she's throwing it, kind of telegraphing it a little bit. She needs to settle down and let the technique do the work, not try too hard.
Definitely find those combos are important in training and getting that muscle memory of the combos, because a lot of the times it's not really about landing that first shot. It's about using that first shot to set up that next shot.
Good round for both fighters. Very even round, very close round. We look at the replay. Keira just trying to find the openings for those punches. She found a little bit of success with her uppercut. You see the pressure here from Jennifer. You know, when people grind on you with that kind of pressure, it's so exhausting. It's so important to stay composed in there and spend your energy wisely. The energy management in this sport is so important. You know, we see it over and over, especially in the longer fights. The amateur fights, you know, only 3 rounds, but longer fights, professional fights, you know, how many times do we see somebody win the first early rounds and then tide completely changes in the late rounds where that person has conserved their energy?
That's right. So we see those punches from Keira coming at wide angles, leaving her open sometimes for just a straight shot.
Leaving her open and not as much power in those shots, although they look hard because the big windup, there's just not as much mass behind those punches. Mouth guard came out for Keira, obviously a sign that she's working hard and breathing heavy. Keira needs to breathe and slow that breathing down. Very tired. Throwing a lot of power on those punches, and You know, that's where you can easily get exhausted. Trying to muscle punches instead of using the technique. Both boxers have settled down now. You know, we're seeing quite a bit of almost pushing and shoving as opposed to punches from Jennifer. There she goes. Now she's letting her hands go and throwing punches.
This is another fight where we're pitting a southpaw versus an orthodox fighter.
Yeah.
Jennifer really has an opportunity to control the outside. Well, she's doing that now.
Keira is getting tired. The mouth guard came out again. Mouth guard. Oh, referee didn't notice the mouth guard is out. She is tired.
Looks like Jennifer's taking advantage of that. She knows that Keira is tired. She knows that Keira was just trying to catch her wind there.
It is a sure sign to pick up the pace when you see your opponent spit their mouth guard out. You know they're tired. You know that mouth guard is, you know, getting spit out because the mouth is open. We can see here just that forward pressure from Jennifer. Not necessarily too effective when she's charging, but she finds a lot better success when she's punching as opposed to pushing and charging. But I'll tell you what, that strategy is definitely taking a lot of energy from Keira.
Definitely, yeah.
Like constant pressure in her face.
And when you lose your wind like that, when you have no more cardio left, that instinct, that ability to push forward flips to survival mode. And when you flip to survival mode, that's when you're starting to lose yourself that fight. Because now you're trying to think of just finishing, just getting to the end.
And then it's about heart. Again, another close fight here. You know, we're seeing a lot of pressure from Jennifer, but again, I'm not sure how effective it is. You know, they've both been landing a lot of punches.
Jennifer is starting to move Keira forward, but she's going to need to start focusing on moving her forward with the shots instead of just pushing her back.
Yeah. But the strategy is definitely tiring Keira out, just that non-stop forward pressure as she looks to take a seat on the ropes almost.
Yeah, you can see that survival mode really setting in on her.
Keira's got to dig deep. This is all about heart and willpower right now. How bad does she want it? Because she is tired. And Jennifer is really digging deep and putting the pressure on. But there's no quitting Keira. Oh. She goes down, I don't think from damage, I think just from exhaustion.
Pure fatigue.
She tries to catch her breath. She needs to get on her bike. Move, move, move.
And you can hear it from her coaches in the corner, from Adam in the corner. Just keep fighting, keep fighting. As somebody who supports her, as somebody who's really trained her, you've really invested in
nice
wanting
body
her to keep
shot by Keira.
There you go. You're wanting her to keep moving forward. You don't want that regret after that fight.
Warned for the first time in this fight about pushing. Good job by Keira, digging deep. She is digging so deep right now to finish this fight.
And that's what you want to see. the point of the fight, the last 10 seconds, where all that heart, all that training in the 8 weeks really comes to a head. And you just keep going, and they both did.
They gave it all. As we look at this replay, you can see Jennifer just coming forward with a lot of pressure. And again, you know, that's so exhausting to deal with that constant pressure in your face and hard to create any space to get power in your punches. And we see Keira just collapse from the exhaustion of it. It wasn't a cumulative damage, it was just sheer exhaustion.
It's almost she needed that. She needed that moment to really just kind of take a bit of a breather. It is such a terrifying thing sometimes too, when you just know you're tired, you know you can't push forward, but your opponent is the one pushing you forward.
And that's where we see the inexperience of these athletes come in. And you know, how could they have in 2 months have enough experience to understand the clinch game and how you can rest and catch your breath in there? Great performance from both boxers. You know, Keira showed incredible heart, reached really deep, you know, got up from that knockdown, did everything she could. Jennifer with relentless pressure, you know, excellent conditioning, and I think that was really the factor in what we saw. But a great job on both parts by both boxers, put on an exciting show. You know, this crowd was very excited, and again, the amount of support that the athletes provide for these charities is incredible. We could see the emotion.
It's a lot of emotion on Andrew's face as he's coming down in the ring. And it is, and rightfully so, because like, they've put in 8 weeks of hard training, of hard work, and really the fight is just it's just really that they're done. They're all walking to the ring champions, and the fight is really just to showcase what they've learned and to showcase the fact that they saw this thing through.
Yeah, and again, this is very different from, you know, high-level amateur boxing, professional boxing. We're seeing people here for their very first time, and they're doing it, you know, for charity. You know, you know, I think some of these people aren't even here on their own will. I think some of these people are here, you know, I mean, they're here on their own will, but they didn't start this on their own will. They fell in love with it. They did the hard work, fell in love with it, and came out here and have all put on incredible performances.
Well, Andrew Colmar, 39, was a firefighter for the municipality of Saanich, and he did this to raise awareness and money for the Saanich Firefighters Charitable Foundation. And here comes Cordell Lloyd, age 24, market analyst, really looking forward to this. He was really looking forward to this really unique opportunity to help out within the community, challenging himself with this great experience. One of the things that he finds, you know, he's most nervous about is just being in front of 1,000 people, which is a common thing that you're seeing from people. Doesn't look it right now, though.
No, he doesn't. A couple of interesting factors in this match. When we look at the age, Andrew is 39, Cordell is 24. Andrew has a 5-pound weight advantage, 170 pounds. Cordell is 165. So, you know, I think the age factor and the weight factor even things out. Mm-hmm. And you know, these firemen stay in good shape. So.
Oh, they do. I've had the both the pleasure and pain of sparring with some of them.
And again, we know the firemen are used to performing under pressure. They, you know, their job, they deal with some high intensity, high stress, high pressure work situations. So I believe that mental aspect of that type of occupation plays a positive factor in this sport. Oh, big right hand. These guys both have some heavy hands. You can see it. They both got a lot of power. Very fast pace to this fight. Ref's gonna settle them down here.
It's the ref's job to protect these guys, and seeing punches thrown with that much power and that much speed can make anybody nervous.
Both of them have very good speed too for this level of first fights. I'm impressed with both of their speed. See if they can sustain that over the rounds. And again, we've got another southpaw here.
Yeah. Hear that one. Oh, winding up with these shots.
These guys are putting on a show here tonight.
Stay outside. Stay outside. Stay outside.
You can hear Bailey in the red team corner calling for Cordell to hit Andrew with that straight right hand, following up with a left hook, which is also that combo that Southpaw is trying to use, and getting the straight left hand and hitting him with a right hook.
Yep. Very exciting round. Now, these two guys are very athletic. They both showed a lot of speed and power in those punches. We look at this replay.
See some of those shots were grazing Cordell. He was pretty quick with a head movement, but man, to get even grazed with some of those shots looks really painful.
Yeah, you don't want to take those flush on the chin. Winding up, he found some good success with that left hook and getting a little bit eager to go back to it. So got to set it up, set it up.
Not to mention, when you wind up like that, that's taking a lot of your wind away from you.
So much energy.
Especially if he's able to dodge it.
And then you're so far off balance, you can't really defend yourself properly for that half second. Both of them in good shape. They both recovered well.
Andrew constantly pushing forward, but Cordell's able to keep his composure.
Yeah. Oh, he's winding that left hand up. He is looking for the home run. Big cross. I think they've both done a good job of starting to settle down here and trying to box them.
This has definitely been one of the most technical fights of the night.
And I think some of the most athletic guys, and some of the most speed and power that we've seen. Oh, big straight left to the body. You can push off that rear leg, he'll find his range on it. But he's got to be careful doing that because he's right in front of the right hand when he's doing it.
Yeah, he's kind of coming into the inside. He's got to train himself to get his leg on the outside when he's coming in with those shots.
Oh. very evenly matched fight here. These guys have both done a great job that round.
Yeah, I cannot call this.
See who wants.
See, Andrew's doing a really good job of pushing Cordell forward. Cordell keeping his composure during all of those flurries, though.
Tucking his chin and getting behind his gloves.
Head moving
his feet. There's a big right hand straight down the middle. Another one right on the chin. Both these athletes very durable. You know, they landed some solid punches. These guys, there's no quit in either of these guys.
You see him getting instruction in the corner from Bailey, and there's Andrew getting instruction from Cassius.
Go into our third and final round of this bout. Again, this is a wide open fight here. This is open for the taking of whoever wants this more. You hear the thud of that one. Andrew's starting to bleed a little bit from the nose here. Both taking a little breather. I can't blame them here.
No way.
Big exchange there.
You see these guys punching with the amount of speed and the amount of force that they've been punching with all fight, and to still have that same volume and that same speed.
I'd like to see them set their punches up a little more and then throw the ones that are going to land hard. Down to the final 10 seconds here.
Yeah, you got Andrew.
This fight is still open.
What a fight. That was an amazing fight.
Got to give credit for the condition that these coaches got these guys in. They threw a lot of hard, heavy, fast punches.
Look at that head movement on
good
Cordell.
head movement. Both of them, if they could settle down a little bit and set their punches up a little cleaner, they'd have more, more effective use of their punches, putting the energy into the ones that are going to land. But they both did a tremendous job here tonight. And I think that third round was fought on sheer heart and will.
Definitely from both of them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for both of these contenders. Fantastic fight. We have a split decision.
Split decision.
Your winner, fighting out of the blue.
And here we can see the emotion. Worked so hard for this moment. Put it all on the line.
And that emotion just pours out of you. You can definitely see that.
Came out victorious. It was close fight. You know, again, full credit to both of these guys. They were very well matched, very even. They both put on a great display.
Definitely one of the fights of the night. Really technically sound, and wow, I can't imagine having that amount of cardio to still punch with that amount of speed and that amount of power in the third round.
Yeah, for their first fights, again, I have to give them full credit for the ability to perform with that much intensity.
And here we are at the final fight of the night, number 15. This is firefighter versus firefighter. First one to walk out right now, age 35 from the blue team, Michael Gunn from Saanich Fire Department. And he is going to be taking on a City of Victoria firefighter.
Mike Machine Gun, 38 years old, 195 pounds, 5'11". We've seen a good commitment from the firefighters getting involved in these events.
Yeah.
They've been steady supporters.
And it's always been some of the most exciting fights of the night, seeing these firefighters go at it.
I still remember the heavyweight final from last year. We haven't forgot that one. That was an exciting war.
Here he comes, our other firefighter from the City of Victoria, Marco Dolcetti. And you can hear it in the room, these firefighter bouts, man. They generate a lot of noise from the crowd.
And they have a great friendly rivalry between the two departments. They work together, you know, but they have this rivalry when they're in the ring against each other, that's for sure. Big bragging rights right here.
Oh, for sure.
Big bragging rights. Marco standing 6'2", weighing 202 pounds, 32 years of age.
One of the things I really loved about Fight for the Cause versus actually I fought Fight for the Cause and I fought another bout outside of Fight for the Cause, and there's such a different experience when it comes to the training aspect. Fight for the Cause, you're training with a team, you're doing things on a regular basis every day with your team of 15 fighters, and you're going through this process with them. When you're fighting, you know, training for just kind of a regular bout, you're really by yourself. It's you and your coach.
It's true. Boxing is a solo sport, but without your coach, without your team to help prepare you, you really don't have a lot. So it's so incredible to be able to train in an environment like this and compete in an environment like this, where you have a whole group of people that are going through everything that you're going through, to share those experiences with you and be able to talk to each other about them and, you know, celebrate or drown, you know, drown your sorrows afterwards. You know, it's a it's a great atmosphere to be able to do this as a group.
Look at how those guys just tower over the ref. This is going to be a huge fight. All right, here we go. Round one of the last fight of the night. Firefighter versus firefighter.
Big heavyweights here. Again, as the weight categories go up, the power goes up drastically. Both of them doing a good job of holding their hands up, moving their head. finding their range, moving. You can hear all the support from the crowd in this fight.
Both fighters doing a really good job of keeping their composure, you know, keeping flailing at a minimum in their.
Yeah. They're efficient. They're efficient. They're efficiently punching. They're not swinging wild, wasting energy, using their jabs well. Again, efficiency in this sport is so important.
There's so many things that can take your win from you, the anxiety being one of them. So you really wouldn't want to waste that what little energy you really have left in wild swinging punches.
Oh,
you can hear that one.
Big punch by Marco. Kind of see a feeling out round here on both parts. Wise, you know, wise. These heavyweights can crack, so you don't want to be taking any unnecessary blows. You want to pick and choose your shots. And I think they both did a good job of that. You can see here the establishing the jab, finds an opening for that right hand, nice and clean, backs off, creates a space. I think Marco did a good job of setting up that right hand, but you know, other than that, I think it was a pretty close round, pretty even round, and
even fight,
pretty composed on both parts. You can
definitely tell Marco is able to find. He's gotten into a bit of a groove with his hook. There, he's able to kind of find an opening right on Michael's chin there. Starting both rounds with a leap there from Marco.
Oh, he found that big overhand right again.
Both fighters very focused, very composed throughout this entire match.
Yeah, one of the things that I like what Mike is doing is he's changing his punches from straights to hooks, trying to find the right time on it. But again, Marco's just doing a good job with that right hand, setting it up with the jab. And able to find success. And there it is again. Again, Mike coming right back with the flurry of straight punches. You know, and again, when it comes to the scoring of amateur boxing, it's not about power. You know, it's about clean shots, who's landing more clean shots. But the power is clearly seen by the judges, so it does have an impact. And the sound influences judges as well. The head snapping back influences the judging. Oh,
we got another mouth guard out.
And again, that's where the power is just so clear. Big uppercut followed by a hook. Snap the head back, knock the mouthpiece out. Not fazed by it. He's fine. He was more fatigued with that open mouth. Again, very close round. These two guys putting on a good show, good match, evenly matched.
One of the things that might be worth mentioning too, especially with the amount of times that we've seen the mouth guard come out, there is the rule in boxing with regards to the color of your mouth guard. So if your mouth guard is is not clear, if it's like dark in color, you can't see the blood coming from the mouth or anything like that, you are supposed to change it to like a clear one. So I believe some of these fighters have clear mouth guards that they're using kind of for the first time.
Yeah, and those mouth guards take a while to get used to if you're not used to breathing with them, because you just can't get the same amount of oxygen through your mouth compared to not having one. So it's important to wear one while you're doing your training to get used to it. You know, some boxers run with their mouth guards.
Yeah, it's a completely different breathing process sometimes.
There's that right hand again for Marco. Oh, and to the body this time. Changing it between straight, between hooking it, and between going to the body, and he's found good success with it. But again, Mike just coming back with that volume of those straight punches, and they are scoring. And again with that right hand,
that body.
Find good success. And we're starting to see the damage now show on Mike's face from that right hand. He's bleeding from that nose. You know, that just shows the effect of scoring. And again with that overhand right. You know, there's blood on the face of Marco. I can't tell if that's Mike's blood or if his eye is cut. It's really hard to tell. But they're both feeling the effects of this fight. We know what we're in for when two firefighters get in this ring. I think he's having the doctor come and have a look at it. First time the doctor's been called to the ring all night. Checks out the nose, makes sure he's not in any danger of having a bad break. Mike wants to continue, he's good to go. Doctor clears him.
Marco is able to sneak those straight shots right into the nose, no matter what Mike's throwing at him.
Yeah, it's done a very good job of varying it between straight, hooking it, and going to the body. So he's picking his opening. Again, one thing we've really seen all night is the amount of work that's being done with the trail hand as opposed to the lead hand.
Right.
Lots of big power shots, and again, another fantastic fight.
And that does it. That is the fight, the last fight of the night.
These firefighters have sure done a good job of putting on entertaining fights for this event.
So you can see in these replays, like all those times that Marco has been able to sneak in those straight shots.
That overhand right again.
You can definitely see it in Mike's nose.
Good job by both of them on setting up their punches. I mean, a lot of time the big boys, they want to just get by their power, you know, and throw a lot of heavy, hard shots. These guys did a good job of setting their punches up, using their jab and finding their openings.
Yeah, very technically sound.
I think Marco just seemed to have a little more power and a little more success with, especially with that right hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your final fight of the night, we have a unanimous decision from the judges. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Marco, the Italian
as I was saying earlier in the night, we were promised something completely different from any other fight card that you've seen. We had 30 members of our community pour their blood, sweat, and tears. 8 weeks of training camp is not a lot of time, but that is a huge dedication for all of these people, and we saw that tonight, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this ring for a great cause, the Fight for the Cause Charity Boxing Gala.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with what I saw tonight. For those guys to go out there and perform the way they did with the amount of time, it's not a lot of preparation time to be able to go out and perform in an environment like this. They did a fantastic job. Again, the support they've provided for this community is incredible. All the charities that they've been able to raise a vast amount of money for is incredible, and I can't wait for this next year. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that will be willing to step in here. You gonna make a comeback or what?
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
What about me? What about next year, me and you in there?
Oh, you and me. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Put on a little exhibition for everybody.
And so, you know, the thing that happens when you're sitting ringside is you really have that itch, that bug to want to go in there. But I got to get my manager to sanction it, and that's my wife. So we'll see if that really ever happens. But you know, anybody can really do this. They do contender boot camps at Studio 4 Athletics, so you can definitely go in and inquire to see if you can do that. From here at the Carson Hall in the beautiful Victoria Conference Center, my name is Brian Capistrano. This is Jason Height. Thank you so much for joining us here for Fight for the Cause 6 here on Shaw TV.